Okay, gonna record coaching for you guys here. So, Beast Coast, they are possibly the best or second best team in your guys' division, I would say. And unfortunately, I think I wasn't able to finish really the full-on scouting that I gave Pi last season for stuff for them. So I gave him like their hero pools and stuff from uh, Hot Slogs and a couple of their drafts. I think I had uh, given him, but I didn't actually like watch through all their games and take notes. I don't know if you guys still want me to do that. It might be tricky because I'm also going to be scouting for my team and stuff too, and doing the analyst recap and stuff like that. So uh, I'm not sure that I'll actually be able to watch the games and make notes on each individual game and like their playstyle and stuff. I'm not sure if that was actually that helpful for you guys, that maybe you don't even need me doing that. And just the drafts and the hero pools is enough. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know, and mostly Pi, I would say. Um, but yeah. So going into this, I think this is probably going to be the hardest matchup that you guys will have in the regular season, at least. At least that's what it looks like to me going in. So I think I suggested to Pi that you ban, and this is after the Zeratul changes and stuff, and movement speed and stuff. Let's see. That you didn't need to ban Anduin.
This was also in Rio's notes. He said that he knew one of their players was like a KTZ.
Are you sure he wasn't talking about the same
Oh
team?
yeah, you mentioned later also that you did the bans for the second team that you
Anyways,
guys are playing, not Beast Coast. Because I was gonna say ban
That
ETC
was an interesting point.
and
they always ban killers.
Tyrande or Ana, I think, were my top two.
Bad about spread.
I was just say they
Because
both
their
did
tank was
different
pretty
things.
much like a two-trick. Their healer was pretty much like a two-trick.
Hard.
Um, I thought you should prioritize Sylve, and then Monkus would probably play Maiev.
Secret was but they also have someone who run
Yeah,
KTZ.
Secret is the Kel'Thuzad one trick,
Monkus, I think, has him at like a somewhat higher level, or maybe it's Mega Muffin.
but he's not playing in this game.
Like
Okay. So I thought the main roster would be Jinji, Cavalli, Monkus, Mega Muffin, and Saiyan.
Um,
Looks like they don't have Cavalli, and instead they
Speaking of the
have
tank,
Saris.
what goes well into the
So
East?
Saris was
Silver
pretty much
Ana
just a healer and Falstad player,
and
and
Silver.
then Cavalli was the
Monster
Tyrande and
Tank
Ana.
is their
So
healer.
yeah, I would have
And
banned
Velocity
ETC,
is
which was their main priority here.
Sylve is a necessity. Anything else is probably flexible.
Their top two. I could have maybe even just banned ETC Diablo.
I think my pick might
I liked the priority on
be
Sylvanas here.
Leoric, because that's another hero that Saiyan guy plays a lot of, and
And then
Leoric
you
is
guys
also
took Johanna. I think that's fine. Um,
But that's up to you, Bay.
a Nubarak was up. Maybe a Nubarak would have been better. That's kind of a tough call. Like, Johanna's probably not bad here, but I think you can't go Diablo into ETC. Murden is also pretty tricky, since he can shut down your engages on both of those pretty easily. I think Johanna... Garrosh is probably tricky as well. I think it's between Johanna and Anubarak. I'm not sure which one I would prefer. But I can't really fault you for going Johanna here. I think that's completely fair. Yeah, this is the guy who plays healers and Falstad, pretty much. At least that's what it
Okay.
looked like on Hot Slugs.
What are our thoughts on Maiev? Do we want Maiev? Do we
Go
want
Stukov
Alarak?
Mephisto.
Alarak banned.
Ban.
Okay.
They still need a solo laner and their flex pick.
So right now they're weak on wave clear in the
And they're
4-man,
both decent so far.
We need to ban.
and camp clear.
Okay.
So I would want to ban something that's good at doing camps and wave clear. The Haka's fine.
Chris, what were you saying?
I think Jaina could have been a good option.
So far.
Greymane is iffy.
Almost
Maybe Phoenix.
All right.
Kerrigan does have the added
Something along those lines would have been probably what I went with.
kind
The
of
Haka's, I think, fine too. One thing you guys should keep in mind also is they might ETC off lane, I think more teams are going to start doing that, especially with ETC first pick being common. It doesn't really like show your hand at all doing anything, and it doesn't allow the offlaner to counterpick as easily. And you take him for a similar reason as Tahaka for the global, basically, from a stage dive. It's especially good if the other team is going to draft a lot of like Mosh interrupts and stuff for ETC anyway.
So far, Malfurions.
And then you can go like a less solid main tank in like Tyrael or something in the 4-man. Or like Uther is really common right now. Well, not really common, but it's, I think, growing in popularity. I like Leoric for the double soaking potential. Maiev is good. I'm not sure that it synergizes super well with what you guys have. Like right now, you guys have Leoric, Johanna, Sylvanas when you picked Maiev. And all three of those I think are very good at like sustained slower fights. And Maiev I think wants to take like burst fights. That like Maiev is a pit comp and the others are like a sustained like sort of like anti-burst comp almost. So then they went Vala, that's better wave clear, and Zul. So I think, did they end up going 4-man soak Zul or main tank Zul? This doesn't look like a main tank Zul to me. So I would expect Zul offlane. I actually have no idea what counters Zul offlane. Probably Arthas. But you already picked Leoric? You could also possibly Johanna offlane and have Leoric in the 4-man, and then you need some other something. The problem is you need healer and like a half main tank thing here. You could technically go Uther, but they're gonna have too much spread damage, I think, for Uther. This is just super awkward. This draft was like super awkward from them. And it's weird because their draft doesn't even seem good, but just the way things ordered out are really weird. I think you guys should have taken your healer earlier instead of Leoric, maybe, to counterpick. Because when your last pick, you normally want to be able to counterpick something. And counterpicking offlane, since that's the 1v1 matchup, is normally more important than getting a counterpick on the 4-man. You could have also just held off on Maiev and gone like Leoric healer, and then maybe just gone double support. I don't know. There's a lot of options in this draft. I don't think Pi was happy with this draft, so I don't want to like criticize it too much, but at the same time, like, I think there was options available that maybe could have made things better. It's hard with the bans being sort of wrong than what you would have wanted.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to ban Kel'Thuzad,
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous.
and I'm pretty sure
I'm thinking
you should have banned
Anduin,
ETC. But I like
because he's
Anduin.
got
I think
the
Anduin is solid.
Qs
I
that
think
are
he's, like I said,
super
tier 1 healer right now.
Malfurion's gonna have a hard time getting W's out on people.
And then I think your main goal
We lost
should
some
be
damage to Navala.
look for a Maiev
Yeah, I think
tether on Mephisto once he shades back. So you want to like send Maiev shade onto Mephisto as he's going back to his shade, so that you can pull him back and make him out of position with no escape. And then Anduin can always save Maiev if she goes in like that.
ETC's got 2 base kit, and he's gonna be the one in my face.
And then you can look for like an Anduin route out of that. Sylvanas is mainly going to look to silence the Mephisto or the ETC or the Zul, probably. Zul with Poison Nova does a ton of damage, but if you can silence him when he's frontlining, he should
That was what I
die
was
pretty
gonna go
easily.
I said I was gonna go light bomb.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
I'll try to get it with my W anyway.
Silencing Mephisto actually doesn't seem that important, because 2 of his spells, he just casts them and then they're active. The Q is really the only thing you'd be silencing, and then his ult he's not going to cast when he's in range of you anyway.
One thing is, how do we want to respond to the Mephisto?
Okay.
Punish him. He's out. Don't ignore him. He takes damage, but most Mephistos play like they're invulnerable when they're in shade form.
I just would be cognizant of when we do dive his
So
base
Sylvanas went Q build.
getting greeted
I think
there
you actually
by
could have
Zul or get
possibly gone dagger build here. They have 2 frontline that you're gonna pretty easily be able to hit in ETC and Zul in fights, and Zul is not a frontline tank. Like, he's probably one of the squishiest. I would even hesitate to call him a bruiser, but he sort of fulfills the bruiser role, but he's like one of the squishiest bruisers. So I think if this was like Chen or something, or Imperious, or Sonya maybe. Autoing him makes a little bit more sense, but he's gonna have to be aggressive, and I think you can punish that by bursting him down pretty fast. Especially with the Maiev, I think you're gonna want a more burst style, I guess. Yeah, it's weird. So I think you could have considered dagger build here. This is one of the few times that
Top and mid.
I think dagger build is potentially an option.
Well, whenever it's relevant,
The other times for dagger build are like into Zarya,
you know.
possibly
Yeah.
Medivh is a big one.
VTC will punish.
Illidan is a big one. People and Varian, people that you can't really reliably auto attack constantly, and instead you have to take their limited periods of weakness to damage them, where the burst is more important. So I like being wave clear focused here.
You good?
So they started 4 bot lane. No, they just came and matched you mid. So they're going to be really slow clearing this. So yeah, I think you guys here, even here, you're retreating back into the lane and then going to go down. I think you could even just retreat all the way down here and potentially have been fine. And you're making them decide between chasing you down here and trying to fight you for kills still, or getting the soak mid. Zul is here getting the soak, which means you can actually shove in top lane and make him miss soak. And then zone him off of like the bushes over here by the altar. You're stalling their rotation bottom. So yeah, you're not going to stall them off of the bottom XP, because they were actually 5 down here. I think they expected you to possibly do Sylvanas cheese. I've seen teams go behind the forts level 1 and disable the fort and just kind of like Juice Pirates, just take the fort level 1. So they might have been scouting for that, and so I would expect they were probably in this bush or this bush over by their camp, most likely. And then they came up once they saw you mid.
Back to mid.
Or they maybe were even in the bottom bush, down bottom or something. So
Camp will be up in 10 seconds.
I think making,
You're gonna fast clear bottom.
Crafty's already on.
trying to think about what
Catch bot.
what the other team was doing and thinking, and their reasons for it is helpful. So see volley down here. You guys have 2 on the camp. It's the correct 2 people, so that's good.
I'm warding.
You guys, Leoric is double soaking. I think it's a little early for Leoric to be double soaking. I think he needs like level 4 to do it consistently. So I think you would rather have probably Maiev here go up and soak middle. You don't really need the damage on the camp that importantly. And Johanna anchoring is good. I think Johanna could even anchor over here or just be out a bit further from the bush,
Invade, but I don't know if
but it's fine.
Catch mid.
Yeah, right now Zul is in pushing mid, Leoric is having to catch top. Okay, now Maiev is going. But if they were slow on their camp, for example, right now is when you would want Maiev to be able to come meet you. And that way you could maybe invade on their camp and maybe steal it or something. Or just push the wave harder. And maybe they're slow doing their camp, and then you push the sappers in all the way before they respond. That doesn't end up being the case, but I'm just saying it could potentially be a reason why I think getting the soak like later rather than sooner is
If you see it, go for like the ball
possibly an issue.
playing really far up.
Here, I think you should prioritize clearing sappers first. This lane is about sappers when the sappers are in the lane, and then it's about kills outside of that. So, like, I think right now, looking for kills is kind of
Clear the camp.
optimistic, and even then possibly detrimental.
Okay.
Because it means you guys are going to spend spells not clearing their sappers, so these end up kind of not doing anything on either side. I hope you guys clear this before it goes in. Yeah, okay.
Sval's being aggressive.
So nobody got anything out of that. I think you guys possibly could have pushed in your sappers there with how they were playing back from you anyway. You could have threatened to engage them, cleared their sappers, and just walked yours all the way in. Let's see what happens here. Star stepping was a little bit off by Pi there, but no big deal.
Bala.
Was it weird? What happened first there? Condemn or tether? She got... It looks like she got tether pulled into the condemn. It was like both happened like almost simultaneously. So yeah, she gets pulled there and then into this condemn pulls her even further or something. It's weird.
Sval's still there. She's still there.
Yeah, so you guys are calling on Vala here, which I think is definitely a possible kill target out of this. I think Joe should walk down and cut her off. You get booped by ETC. After you see her come in here, just walk it at Stukov and cut her off.
Oh,
She
still
has
there.
no way of escaping. I think the ETC, like, he's already used his boop and his slide and everything. He's just gonna sit there and do nothing. I think Maev can look for
Still there?
Constantly coming in my face.
the Vala
Like,
too.
let's do something.
I think that was kind of on
Here comes the W.
tank and
Okay, now
positioning mostly.
I'm gonna tap as well.
So again, Zul has now pushed in mid because he's double soaking. And he can definitely double soak a bit stronger than ETC, I think.
let's do something.
So, let's see how long mid goes unsoaked.
Camp.
It's a while.
She's playing really
So it
far
looks
out.
like the waves just meet here, right as the sappers are kind of in the lane. Yeah, this is when Maev moves down.
Playing really
So
far
I'm just gonna watch here. Right now the waves are meeting right about at 150. So there's one wave here that doesn't get
Vala,
soaked
Vala, like
at
that.
all by you.
Okay, now I'm gonna tap.
I'm gonna tap as well.
Yeah, so I think what you guys would have wanted to do also is, instead of looking for kills down here, like waves are way more important than kills, especially early game. That after the sappers kind of didn't get pushed or whatever, Maev just goes back up to soak mid. It could also be Sylv, but I think Maev is the better option. She has
Vala, 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 Vala.
an escape and probably better wave
Oh,
clear.
she's still there. She's still there.
Constantly coming in my face.
So yeah, you guys missed the wave that met at like 150, and now these waves are meeting at 220. And that wave probably gets half soaked. So you guys missed about a wave and a half there, which is pretty much already this XP lead.
Yeah. We'll have an easier.
And I believe this is no kills to no kills even still, and nobody had any sapper advantage, so that was just straight up like a macro
Hard CC at level 10.
play that you guys got behind. Good tether onto, I think Stukov is an easier kill target than Mephisto here, because Mephisto's going to be able to shade away. If he does that and then comes back, then he can be a secondary kill target, but you're pretty much not going to be able to kill him until the shade 3 seconds is up. So I think Stukov is a better kill target here. It doesn't really look like you guys have the kill pressure though. I think this is a result of like Sylvanas being way back here and not being able to put damage. Anduin is also a bit far to follow up here.
CC at level 10.
I think it's also just a comp issue that Maev wants to look for these kills, but Johanna, Sylv, and Anduin aren't really fitting the look for kills like this style. If this was like Muradin, that could jump in and follow this up, or well, Genji probably wouldn't have enough wave clear. But even Jaina, if she could step up and just like burst people out of this, like Sylvanas doesn't have the burst, I think, to follow up on kills like that. So I'm not sure that you can play Maev
On the Vala.
in
Vala, Vala, Vala,
that style
Vala, Vala,
in this
Vala.
comp. I think you might have to play Maev more as a peel for Sylvanas in the backline, and just let Sylvanas
You guys
not be scared of like ETC.
swinging around behind Vala.
So let's back this up here, see how this engage happens. So you guys trade out top lane. This is the bot altar being up this whole time. You guys are still just trying to heal up.
Vala, 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 Vala.
Vala gets out of position. Does get the heal in her by Stukov. So they're just trying to zone you.
You guys.
Vala, 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 Vala.
I think Phantoms, again, is being really aggressive here for being half HP. I'm not sure that, like, I know he wants to go in on the Vala, and it looks like he can and should be able to in a lot of other comps. I think if Leoric was a bit closer and was maybe flanking in this top side here, that could potentially have been an option. He misses the tether, and now he's just kind of stuck and forced to
Swinging around behind Vala.
eat a slide and take some damage. Good trait. Hopefully he lives. You guys trade a kill on Vala, that's good. Mephisto does get the kill on Maev. Yeah, she's coming back, so you guys should all be ready to just instantly kill her out of this. ETC and Stukov don't really have any good peel. Like, Stukov will at level 10, but even then, ETC, he has like a boop and a slide, and that's it. So you guys should be able to kill Mephisto here.
W.
There's the slide, good condemn. Nice, you got the damage, just go for the cap. Leoric can head back top lane, start soaking. Let's see.
On it.
You should probably, well, I don't know. Soaking mid or going straight top here is kind of a tough call. I think one of you should have gone mid to get soak here too.
Just spawn.
Okay.
Sylvanas is pushing bottom.
Top games.
You think he's there?
Maybe it would have been better for Sylvanas to soak mid here. Because like the mid waves, if you think at the start of the game, the mid waves are always going to crash first. Like they crash about 5 or 10 seconds before the side lanes do, and so this XP is going to die sooner to your minions right now, whereas the bot lane XP will live 5 or 10 seconds longer, and so it probably takes about 5 to 10 seconds to go from mid to bottom. So if you clear out mid first and then go bottom, it's also the person capping this altar, like Anduin and Johanna. Johanna was where she should be, absolutely. Johanna should be in this bush anchoring, even though they're probably not going to come contest. I think anchoring here is kind of pretty correct. You maybe could have been slightly further down to get the soak instead of Sylvanas, but I think if Sylvanas goes mid here, I think Leoric going straight top is correct. Because if Leoric doesn't go straight top and he soaks mid, then you're like top was like double stacked from Zul, I think, and he's definitely losing way more XP of top lane than he is of mid, because this is like a wave and a half and this is like half a wave. So this is way more important. That even if he gets up here in time to soak one wave, that's better than the half a wave mid. So yeah, I think Sylvanas probably here goes to soak mid, and then Anduin and Johanna can just walk down to get the bot wave after capping the altar. And they would have been here to get 4 of the minions probably. Whereas now it looks like you're going to lose a majority of this mid wave. Maiev is going top here looking for ganks still. I don't know, like Leoric doesn't really have any follow-up to a Maiev gank that he can help with. Maybe you're just wanting to contest him on the camp, but realistically the top lane doesn't matter. If you have the wall die and stuff like that, that him getting that camp shouldn't be very important. These two are getting this camp now, which is correct. Johanna has to back, but they're pushing in bot lane for you, so that's good. They're not getting their camp.
They're all showing down their care.
They need to wait for Johanna.
So
Watch for mid rotations.
Maiev could come down. So here you guys have two options. You can invade their siege camp, or you can push in your sappers for free.
bot missing, bot missing.
It's hard with Johanna not here at that time. Okay, Johanna's back in time. So they got their siege camp. Now all you want to do is just zone them out of this entrance. If they can't come this way, then your sappers will go into the wall. So this, like, they're not going to come around here. They need to stop your sappers, so they need to get aggro on them. So I think Johanna, instead of going up here, should have gone in this way, because they can't come around their fort and defend these behind the wall, which is where their sappers are going. They have to come here to meet your sappers before they crash in. So Val is like super out of position. I mean, if you were just sitting at this corner and she came around the corner, you just insta-kill her. I think you wanted to play out of vision from the minions, but the minions are going to die here anyway. And like, if you could have maybe gotten around and gotten into this bush in time, as for them capping the camp, maybe getting in that bush is a better place, but that's like, you can still get into that bush pretty much out of vision coming this way. They'll technically have vision of you, but who cares? I think the more important thing is defending the sappers. They don't, like, again, you're not really looking for kills. When the sappers are in the lane, the sappers are what matter, not kills. So looking for kills on, like, playing vision games with Johanna and Maiev is of lesser importance. So we didn't really punish the Vala overstepping. We could have possibly punished the Mephisto going in here. Maiev hasn't used Shade yet. Johanna hasn't used Condemn. You know exactly where he's going to be in 3 seconds. That this should be pretty much a free kill, especially if the rest of his team is like running away from him. So we used Condemn and we shaded away, so there wasn't really a punish on the Mephisto. We're pulling ETC, who's probably the single non-kill target on their team most of the time. They get the silence down, so the sappers don't go in. So yeah, you guys like probably missed the kill and didn't push in the sappers here, I think. I'm kind of like criticizing this game a lot more because A, it's one of the only losses that I think you guys will have, so I think it's one of the, like, obviously in a loss there's going to be more things to criticize, but also I think it's easier to criticize a loss. That there was, I want to show you guys that there was a lot of things that kind of went into this, that it wasn't just the draft, and it wasn't just the bans, and it wasn't just, you know, Azul in the top lane. It was like a lot of things in combination that you can still work on and have in mind and get better at to do things, you know, even better at all points in the game. And if you just add those up, then they don't get as much of a lead, and you guys probably even get a lead, and then, you know, the game looks entirely different, even if all like the draft mistakes still happen and stuff like that. So I'm trying to like hopefully not be too critical, but yeah, at the same time, just wanted to explain that because I felt like I was and am probably going to be a little bit extra critical this time, especially because I didn't think there was much I could coach in the previous games you had me look at. So we're making up a little bit, a little bit for the past. So Pi. So yeah, this is after the sappers die here. Now you guys are trying to back up. I think he gets stunned while the
We have
haunting wave was in the air here, or he just can't even cast it in time. Oh, he just casts it super late. Yeah, okay. So
I'm gonna rotate up closer to the.
here, as soon as I see the silence go down and our wave dead, like I know these are never going in at this point. Honestly, even at
Coming down here.
this point, well, we'll wait. Okay, after this point, I know that these sappers are never going in. Once ETC has aggro of them, like we probably can't kill him, and the Vala is no longer out of position. We didn't kill Vala. That these are probably never going into the wall. So now we should just back up. We're not looking for kills. We probably should have looked for kills on the Mephisto since he was making himself a sitting duck for it, but realistically he should have just been way back here and just poked a Q in at these things and let the Vala and the ETC and Stukov deal with these. But yeah, after especially the silence field goes down, these are never going into the wall, so now you guys should just back up. So Skeeto has the right idea here. I think you guys are still kind of trying to force these in and trying to get an advantage, which you probably can do against half the teams in your division, and probably were doing, and this is maybe even like a bad habit that you guys are almost building, by being a lot better than the teams in your division now, is kind of able to force things even though they're not correct and you shouldn't be able to get away with them. And they also won't punish you for it, and they'll just kind of be like submissive and let you get away with stuff that you shouldn't be able to. So yeah, I think Pi here is just too far forward. And like realistically, right here, you're in range of an ETC slide. You should throw Haunting Wave back here, because realistically, like you're not ever getting a kill here. Really, Maiev is way back here, even further back than Sylv, which is generally a bad sign. But even if, like, since you're not looking for a kill, even then, the worst thing that could happen right now is you get slid and picked off. So if you just throw an E preemptively, you just dump Q and W into this guy, just chunk him a little bit, down to like 30% HP or whatever, and then just take the E back anyway. And Johanna can walk herself out or whatever. This is a communication thing as well that probably everybody at this point should be calling K back up. The sappers died. We're not pushing anymore. So good attempt to peel by Rabid. Technically, this could have maybe been on Solskeeto too. Like, I would probably cleanse Pi immediately. He wants to get the heal off, and you probably think that he's fine here until you see that go down, and then you're trying to get in range of the Yoink. It's long range. And you throw a Root out instead. Yeah, so that was just kind of slow. It's not really on you. It's kind of more so on Pi, but... And I think it was good that you saved Rapid there instead, so... Well, maybe not instead, but... So their sappers go in. Root on Mephisto was good, but you guys aren't looking for kills here. Just trying to defend, clear their wave, make sure the push isn't too strong. Because you don't want to lose fort and especially lose level 10 before the objective here. So you guys are half a level down to level 10, and that's pretty much only through not soaking mid for like 2 or 3 waves now. Because that also happened because of this bot lane. We see another wave meeting here at 450 roughly. And okay, Leoric does come down and gets probably most of that. And then Zula's down here now. Leoric is barely catching that. So I would say, like, generally when the 2 waves crash, the melee minions will die, but then the ranged minions generally live. So if this is happening, like, probably there's 1 or 2 maybe minions, melee minions alive. 2 would be optimistic. I would think 1 at least dies. So instead of getting all 7 minions in this wave, he's probably getting about 5, maybe 4, maybe 6. But probably an average of around 5 instead of the full 7. So you're missing like 2/7 of the XP from these waves. And so if you just imagine that happening like 3 or 4 times, then you've missed the equivalent of a full wave. So this is good, what Leoric is doing, but you are still losing small bits of XP. Like, the XP lead is growing and growing a little bit every time that this happens. So you guys are down here.
I just constantly have people coming in with challenge them with that ETC.
I'm trying to see what you guys are talking about here.
We're just looking to clear waves at this point. I don't think we have the ability to challenge them with that ETC right now.
I know. Well, I wasn't trying to challenge. Like, I just constantly have people coming in my face. But I will stay as far back as I can.
Zul looks like he's heading up. Not
So that was good.
the objectives.
Good communication, both from Crafty and from Pi of like, and everyone else really, of just, you know, okay, Pi was too far forward, he needs to stay further back, especially against ETC, and of what the comp is looking to do. I think that was good.
I think he's gonna try to get.
So Maev gets super chunked here. Yeah, you can't really step up to contest Mephisto.
Oh, there he got bottom.
Solskito was also kind of low. I think you're okay with giving this to if you have to, just to stabilize. Johanna got in and got a blind, and he cancels himself off of it. You guys need to punish this this Vala really bad right now. I think Leoric should still be coming down here. I know he wants XP, especially because they're going to be level 10 soon. But that's almost even a reason why he needs to be down here sooner, faster. Is Rabbit needs to be running up here and splitting Vala from her team so that they can't meet up with each other. And Vala's escape is going to be this way, up and towards the mid fort, and that's also where Zul is going to be. So you want the CC to be in range of her there, slowing her and condemn. And then I think Maev should shade in here, and Solskita should probably get ready to follow up with a root. She's fast, so it's hard for Rabbit to catch up with her. So you're keeping her split. This is good. Rabbit is like Phantoms is zoning her up here. Rabbit is zoning the three of the rest of her team down here. That's good. But I think, yeah, if she does this, get ready to pull her in, and Rabbit needs to be ready to walk up and follow up with Condemn when this happens. Is that you're either going to pull her down or this way. And Rabbit, like, you saw the shade go in, and then you're still stepping back and down this way. I think Rabbit needs to be continuing to walk up here. At this point, the channel doesn't matter. The kill is what matters. Because the kill will get you the channel. Wow. The chill. Let's call in Vala. That was pretty much on Rabbit there. That's the reason Vala lived, I think, was the follow-up was a little bit slow. I think this is also on Phantoms here, that he's not really, like, calling for it, but, or calling that he's engaging here. I think Phantoms, I would like to hear more communication from. I mentioned that in the other game, but I think I'm noticing it more and more, that it's not just that I'm not used to your voice, it's also just that you're, I think by far the most quiet person on the team, probably, at this moment. And I was a really big proponent last season of pretty much everybody communicate as much as possible, and the more information that is being said, like the more better decisions everybody can make, because they're just being fed more and more information than they can even possibly look at it once and take in. So yeah, I think Rabbit needs to come up here. Phantoms, if you were calling this a little bit better, the follow-up on the Vala, and then saying probably that she's going to get pulled or whatever. But I mean, just based on positioning right now, if Vala's walking in melee range of Maev, like, you guys all need to be looking on this Vala this whole time if she steps out of position, ready to kill her. So I think that was a little bit slow. The root slightly missed. I would have probably aimed it a little bit higher, Solskito, but you're also probably should have been expecting a Condemn pulling her down slightly, so. But yeah, still, like, at this point, she's about to get pulled. She's going to be going this way, so just aiming it a little bit more this way instead of down this way would have been ideal. It's hard because it's a slow cast and a slow moving projectile, so can't fault you too much. Here we have Zul coming into the fight and no Leo, so at this point the fight is a 5v4. And we missed the kill on Vala, and now we're all out of position, so
They're tense. Get out.
this is pretty unfortunate. That was pretty much a result of them, or the Vala kill, like, not happening quick enough, I think, and the Leoric and the XP differential as well.
Thought the original call.
Like, realistically, you guys should have hit 10 the exact same time they did,
Okay, the
I
engagers
thought
are.
that you'd said
pretty much,
that
and
Warden wasn't there.
We need to figure something else out, because we can't punish Vala and we can't not punish Vala.
Yeah, I think
no, you have to be able to punish Vala if she's gonna walk into melee range of Maev. Like,
figure out how to punish Vala.
every comp in the game can do that.
No situation where we don't punish Vala that'll work.
That was a positioning issue, I think, and kind of communication and just reaction time sort of thing.
Make sure we're keeping her as like.
Camp.
I think level 10s help you guys a lot.
Yeah, they're on.
So yeah, they're on the camp. You guys needed level 10s.
Sure we're keeping
The question is, which way are you guys gonna try and engage this? I like going from this way because That way, if they push you back and they get the camp, you guys don't have to like quickly run around this way to catch the camp before it goes into the fort. You can just slowly retreat back and still stall the sapper aggro the whole time, so that you can stall them like right around here. They'll go into the fort when they get right around this like wall range, or maybe even slightly past it. But you pretty much want to hold them around this corner as much as you can. But I think this also just cuts off their escape path. That they have to like physically push you back really far down here before they can have a realistic like escape path out of your camp. So this way their escape path is still open, whereas if coming in this way, their escape path is like closed off. So I think this flank is good. Where Rabbit's going, I would have liked to see everybody come in from this way. Even Leoric honestly could come down here, because you need to do something to get back in the game, honestly. You're not able to match the Zolan the double soak, really. So I think Leoric coming down here would be good. Flashlight before you go in here I think would be good, just to have more vision on who is where.
Okay, watch him off.
Who is in this bush, because I don't think we saw Mephisto this whole time.
Leo come in.
Trying to see here.
They're on it.
So we see Stukov, we saw somebody. Who is that?
Make
That went in the bush.
Electric camp. Leo come in.
Okay, that technically was Mephisto.
They're on it. They're on it.
Coming.
And now you see Vala.
Okay, watch him off.
So you kind of know Mephisto's around here. But, I mean, it was pretty quick that I think just having vision on people would have helped. So ETC's really split from his team here. He's going to have to power slide out to catch up to them. Stukov is going to probably went shove, not flailing swipes. So I would want to stay below Stukov so that you can't get shoved back in this corridor. You want him to have to shove you down and into these like wall things here, so that the shove doesn't take you completely out of the fight. Having the unstoppable up helps with that as well. I think you could honestly light bomb Johanna right now. The unstoppable is probably the ideal time to light bomb, because that way they can't CC her and then reposition. Like they can't shove her away when you light bomb her and stuff. And then Maev can even look in on this Vala, but I think realistically you're more so just looking to go on the ETC. But since the ETC is going to slide to like roughly where the Vala is, I think a shade going over here and getting ready to take it over here would be good. And then you'll probably have to trait to dodge his slide and boop thing. But then the light bomb should come out. Like, you guys should be able to kill ETC here, possibly even Vala. Maybe Stukov if you're lucky. Like, Vala's insane. This is not an escape path, Vala. Vala's positioning this game is absolutely insane. And you guys don't punish it, I think.
Yeah, they're on it. They're on it.
Coming.
Okay, watch him off. Watch him off.
Like right now, you get booped back. I don't know.
Come on, Vala.
Maev is going for the camp. The call is Vala.
Down here.
Coming down. Coming down.
Stukov shoved down. Stukov shoved down.
So I think this is communication.
Yeah.
And kind of
They used a bunch
positioning and stuff like that. Getting the camp is fine. But
Their camp.
I think it
Leo rotated.
was a confusion as the result of the call not being get the camp. So they're on their camp. Guess where Vala is? Not on their camp, because we saw her down here.
Yeah.
And she's half HP.
They used
So she's on this wave. She's on this wave with Mephisto. She is sort of coming up to it. They're probably actually on the camp now.
Leo rotate. Can you?
Yep.
Oh, Vala is on the camp. Okay, never mind. I lied. I'm dumb. So this is a 4-on-4. What did they use last fight? Nothing, as far as we know. I don't believe they used anything. Did we use anything last fight? Also no. Again, I think Light Bomb here could be good, so that Johanna can just walk in, especially if Stukov's gonna root himself and he's standing right next to Vala. Like, Light Bomb these guys. Maev can be walking down around this silence.
Yep.
And right now Maev is looking to shade over this wall here to get a surprise like fight on this. But like ETC should be the only one standing on the point. The other three heroes they have are all ranged. Stukov's not ranged, but he's a healer and he'll be playing with the backline, especially deep heal for them and stuff. So if you shade over onto the camp, the only person you're ever going to get with like a tether or a warden's cage or something, I can't tell if you went disc or warden's cage by the icon because of the text. That's disc. So you can disc the ETC, but realistically, if you disc like Stukov or Vala, when they come out of disc, they're a free kill. Or you can disc Mephisto when he shades in and just activate the disc so that he doesn't shade back, and I believe then he's just stuck. I don't believe he'll shade back and be in time stop, so. But yeah, I think Maev can be looking down here and then throw a shade back over here, and you could pull both of these guys into a light bomb with Johanna and just instantly get 2 free kills on squishies.
He's gonna mosh point, but I have light bomb.
Even here, I think you could have time stopped the Mephisto and called for an engage. I think you guys are like not pulling the trigger and being fast and decisive, which you were in the other games. So it's kind of weird. I think this is just like you guys got used to a little bit of like playing aggressive and being ahead, and this is what happens when you're behind and you're like not used to it, and it's sort of catching you off guard again. But I think like time stop this dude, Maiev Shade on these two, pull them in, kill all 4 people here with a light bomb, use ults. Honestly, Leoric doesn't even need to be here for you guys to win this fight. Their positioning is just garbage. So there's the Maiev Shade, kind of late, because you like went all the way in here to get the Maiev Shade, instead of like being able to throw it from over here. It would have been longer and given them more time to react, but Stukov canceling his own silence is pretty slow, and he had rooted himself over here anyway. But it also made it longer because you had first walked up here and then had to walk all the way down. Still no light bomb coming out, which I think is kind of slow. Good Entomb by Crafty. Yeah. Gotta light bomb somebody here. So Crafty gets pushed. They're stunned. The Entomb is gonna drop soon, and then Mosh comes out. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. And you don't have a good Mosh interrupt aside from Blessed Shield now, or Condemn, I guess. I can't tell if Rabbit is in the Mosh. It doesn't look like he's in the Mosh. Okay, so Rabbit does get the Blessed Shield to interrupt the Mosh here. Here's Power Slide. Pi should also be looking to step further right here to avoid the ETC Mosh. He's trying to get in to get on the squishies, but realistically they should be stuck here because of CC, not because of Pi hitting them in the Entomb anyway. Like he already used the silence arrow, but he steps into the Mosh. You should probably be able to hit them from over this wall on this thing. And then you're also blocking the ETC's escape path. So this is a good light bomb. Let the squishies all get out free again. Instead we're killing ETC. Good root by Solskito here. So ETC should die. Here's what's his name? Zul. And Pi and Maiev are both low. So silence on the point and stuff. So at this point you can just get out. Good time stop. Ideally it would have gone on Zul, I think, instead of Vala, but it was hard and everybody got out. Okay, so that was like a successful engage, except you got 1 kill instead of like 3 or 4. You guys should push in these sappers. You have 20 seconds before the altar. And you don't need 3 people to soak mid. So I think the sappers win in bottom, but like I want to like take the whole bottom wall here, and ideally the well, possibly. I don't know why you guys all went mid. 3 of you went mid. They don't have a tank. You guys can free push them down here. Zul is just gonna go double soak. Leoric can match him if you want to, but realistically they don't have ETC. So you guys should have full control of this. That was a little bit early by Phantoms. Oh, and then you missed the tether. If you had tethered him there, that was a free instant kill. So they're gonna use Mephisto ult to interrupt you. You can Maiev flip to avoid that. Rabbit should probably shield himself to avoid that damage. Pi can't do anything, Solskito can't do anything, Crafty can't do anything. So he went mages, and here they are. This should probably just be a call to back off. Phantoms is way too low and gonna die. That was a result of not killing the Mephisto off of the Maiev engage, and it gave them time to have ETC come in. I think this was also just you guys weren't set up on this ahead of time as well. Right now this is spawning. You guys should have all been sitting in this bush. You're in this bush. This is the bush to control. This bush is not important to control.
5 seconds on
And Maiev is the one pushing the wave instead of Leoric. I think Johanna's the one pushing. I think Leoric should be the one pushing the wave, and Johanna should be down here. They can't face check into Johanna. They can face check into Leoric, pretty much, because Leoric has Entomb down. But Johanna with Blessed Shield down, like, still has the threat of Condemn. And realistically, they're only face checking because you're not in the bush. If they even, like, if you didn't all show on the wave and coming down into here. Phantoms showed here when he poked up. If you had just sat in here, the Mephisto wouldn't have walked all the way in and then been able to shade and interrupt. So you probably could have zoned them off entirely just by controlling this bush. That the Mephisto kill, like, shouldn't have even been a possibility to happen. Maybe he looks for this ult, but then maybe you can interrupt it because you can step out of the bush and condemn him. or something. If he's doing it too close, because he has to be, he was like too close, but then he would have to walk back far enough that maybe it's too delayed and you get the cap off anyway.
It's got one shot.
So I think there was a lot of like sort of combination issues there. Hopefully Crafty lives. I think you want to generally cleanse people or life grip them. I'm gonna call it cleanse, but life grip and then heal rather than heal then life grip, because that way you're removing them from damage and then getting them healed, rather than them still taking damage the whole time, and like the heal helps a little bit, but good cleanse on Pi, he still dies.
I'm gonna be in rush at the top.
But that's twice now I think that Silskeeto has healed before
I'm not really
life gripping instead of the other way around.
Didn't know you were in trouble.
I
Like
It's a
didn't
pretty
know
minor
I
thing,
was
but
100% healthy.
Okay.
I got one shot.
so yeah, there's not much you can do here.
Is there a way
Silskeeto, you maybe could have gone to soak mid, but you want mana anyway, so it's fine. I think backing here is fine.
Their team came up.
The orc is getting mid soak now.
And then you just can't get
So realistically, with them controlling bottom, and you guys already this far behind, about 2 levels, I think this game should pretty much be over at this point. I mean, I'll keep watching and pointing out stuff, but I think the combination of the team fights that have already happened pretty much should kind of have decided this game. It's a good pull on Vala. Again, there's not much communication I'm hearing on kill the Vala here, or the Mephisto. I don't think Mephisto's the kill target. His shade is way back here. But right now, Vala is frontlining with ETC.
we can catch one. Can't maybe. That's what he's doing.
Rabbit has Blessed Shield here, not ripping it. We also have Light Bomb, we're not ripping it. We have Wailing Arrow, we're not ripping it. And Time Stop, you could Time Stop ETC here also. You guys gotta be more decisive. You need to look for picks to get it back in this game, I think. And if the Vol is going to be frontlining with ETC, like, that's definitely a position mistake that you guys should punish. F has to shade out. Pi is just getting destroyed here. So because this Vol is like living so long, Blessed Shield missed.
Oh my god.
I missed my stun on her. It's my bad.
And these kill threats are missing. Like, we're using cooldowns, not getting kills, and then they have cooldowns and we don't, and we're also like then out of position. Here I think this is like split target focus too, because Rabbit and Pi are still trying to kill the Vala, who at this point is completely safe. Especially after this Condemn misses, like she's not a kill target. As soon as this slide happens, the goal is now make sure Maiev doesn't die. You're not looking for a kill, you're just peeling for Maiev. Pi steps too far forward. Right now Pi can still be where Silskeeto is, behind this line. He has no reason to ever step this far forward onto like Mephisto and stuff. He's stepping further in towards the Vala for a while.
Oh my
Then
god.
Vala comes in to finish him off.
My stun on her. It's my bad. This is rough. Okay. We're 2 levels down.
So they're going to get your camp here and try and push it in for 3 sappers while getting the top captures. They're going to split your focus, so you either have to defend bottom or contest them on the top captures. They're going to cap theirs first with 1 person, while the other 4 of them just stall your side and make you contest it. And then the sappers are going to take so long and take so long to be cleared that it's going to take 1 person stuck down here, and then they're going to engage 5v4 on the top side left altar. That's what they should do. Good of Maiev to get out. Wait, how did that kill you? Vala multi-shot. So you stepped in here? Like right now? Just keep walking this way. Stepped in further just to get a W on ETC and get a heal, but yeah, you died because Vala could vault into range and multi-shot you. That is extremely unfortunate.
Yikes, guys.
Like, that's technically a mistake. I possibly would have even made that mistake, so that one I can't fault you too bad. Phantoms, again, getting picked off here. This is just like, we're staggering deaths now. where at this point you're either contesting this, which you're not now because one person died, so you're just clearing these sappers. But like once one person dies and one person is already super low, you just have to take this E as soon as you can. How are you not able to take this? Looks like you're not CC'd at all. You get booped there and then still don't take it now. You're looking for Qs or a cleave or something. Yeah, you get a tether off. You were trying to get a tether pull before taking the shade. You're not looking to get kills. You're looking to save your own life there. You're at 10% HP, so. Realistically, you guys shouldn't be able to get this cap in a million years. I think even positioning here is like almost asking to stagger more deaths, but I would probably prioritize pushing in bottom fort. They're gonna get this cap, and if they get kills, they're gonna do boss as well, and then you guys are just like very nearly dead. So yeah, this is, you were asking to die, and
Pressed the wrong button.
they
I'm gonna go bot.
they thanked you for it. So they're gonna take mid and their cap. They're taking mid instead of getting boss. I don't know if that's actually better.
Top, they were just mid.
It's kind of
Already ganked.
arguable. Maybe they can take mid and get boss. It's probably what they're doing. They wanted to take mid before the cap, so that got an extra shot. That's kind of reasonable. They could have taken boss here and then come down and gotten their siege camp, and then probably also, because this siege camp threatens 3 shots, and then gone top and gotten that siege camp and pushed in top, and possibly 6-capped you. They wanted to defend bottom fort and try and get a gank off here. Doesn't look like they should be able to do that. So I think they wasted a lot of time by not getting boss here. I think I would absolutely trade boss for bottom fort at this point. So they didn't want to go for top camp because Zul was already getting it. Zul got it, or you shouldn't have started it, though. Getting top camp for Zul is kind of just like a waste of time. It's better to do it when they have a macro advantage and can push with it, which his team had like full map control at that point. You guys are able to retake mid here, that's also really huge. So you should have been at 6 shots, threatened with 3 more, and then them threatening to 6-cap you. You would have retaken bottom, so probably not threatening a 6-cap, but you guys should have been at 6 shots remaining, and mid being completely dead.
Catch mid.
And now you're at 10 shots remaining, and you've retaken mid, and almost retaken bottom. So you're somehow almost getting back in this game because your opponents are making really bad macro mistakes and not able to finish the game. So they're trying to push in for 3 shots here instead of getting the guaranteed 4 shots of boss, which they could absolutely take with 16 advantage. I get another pick. I mean, at this point, like, it's staggering deaths, but you're also having to defend against the sappers, and you're down 16s. Like, this is just what happens when you're down 16 in a game like this. You killed 2 of the sappers, 1 got in. It's not that bad. Realistically, it doesn't change the kill threat numbers for the enemy team, I think. If it was down to 8, it could maybe change it, but because that way it would be 1 altar plus boss. I guess now it is 1 altar plus boss,
Tomb is up.
so it does change things.
Go to the right, go to the right.
Now Mephisto's bottom. His soul's thing is down.
It always would have been 2 altars though, so you always either have to get both top altars or somehow defend bottom and get 1 top altar.
That's it.
But they just got the 2 furthest altars because they left 1 person bottom, and they could just stall you off because they also have the threat of boss. And they can threaten you with picks still because you're still down 16. I mean, yeah, that game was just like over like 5 minutes before it was over,
I
but
didn't do
that
anything.
was a pretty rough game.
Like,
I think there was a lot of more micro mistakes that game than I saw in the other games in terms of like looking for picks and kill targets and stuff in team fights. I think that was mostly a result of the comp being a little bit weird to run and not as synergistic as it could have been. So let's go on to the second game here. You guys win this one, but it isn't super clean, if I remember right. So you're still doing the incorrect bans, which isn't a huge deal. I mean, at this point, like, I already went over it. Now your first pick ETC, I think that's good. I said in my notes, I think ETC, Diablo are his two best tanks, and especially keep him off of ETC. They go to run Mephisto. I think both of their healers didn't play Anduin, so you guys should have had free reign of Anduin this whole game. Or this whole
And
series.
Rexar.
I think Malfurion Rexar instead of Anduin. Anduin didn't really do the best last game. I'm curious as to why Pi went with Malfurion here over Anduin. It is good follow-up with ETC and Rexar compared to Anduin's CC follow-up. And it is good that you can drop like roots under Mephisto Shade and stuff. The cleanse is a bit weaker. You can also have a silence on him, so the CC is a bit better than Anduin. I think he's more offensive and less defensive, basically, in terms of healing. He's better offensively,
Then
less
you tank, their
good
solo lane, and
defensively.
pick
Yeah, okay.
The second
They banned Gul'dan.
doesn't synergize as well with what they have.
Okay. And now let's start thinking.
Yep, keeping him off of ETC Diablo is what I said in my notes, so that's good. I also am not sure that you want to pick healer and offlane here. Like I said, I think priority until Sylvanas would be pretty huge. And then my plan was to, or what I said in the notes that I sent Pi, was to let Monkus pick Maiev if he wanted to, because Sylvanas is probably the closest thing to a Maiev counter. But instead you guys picked Maiev, which I think doesn't work as well, personally. So yeah, here they get to counterpick offlane, so I think Rexar is kind of fine. I'm not sure you needed to pick healer here, given that you would have had free reign of Anduin or Malfurion, and you're pretty happy with getting both of those, I think. And they can only ban one of them, and they're probably not going to pick a second healer. So I think you could have taken away maybe a priority DPS of theirs, if you want to. Since they've already chosen healer, that you don't really need to choose your own healer immediately. You can hold it for later.
A 4-man or a solo that's going to win. We can't lose both top and bottom, otherwise game over.
So they go with Johanna, because they want wave clear, because Mephisto is weak wave clear. Then he goes Sylvanas.
They've not
Okay.
picked their solo yet.
So what are we thinking about Kerrigan / Genji? Are those
Let's think. Genji, I do not like into Sylvanas. I think it's pretty weak, because if you dash in and get silenced, you are pretty much dead. Really, if you get silenced ever as Genji, you might be dead. Maybe not against their team, because Mephisto can't really punish Genji, and Johanna is just okay. Johanna and Sylvanas shouldn't really be near each other, so if you're engaging on backline people, Johanna's probably playing frontline, so Johanna's not really going to be near you, so it's maybe okay. But if you get silenced and then stunned by Tyrande, you're probably dead as Genji. So I don't think I like Genji a whole lot. Kerrigan is okay. I think I like the way that Phantoms has been playing aggressive, and I think that's been good for your guys' team. But I also think his hero pool might be kind of an issue if it's really small, because right now it seems to be Maiev, Kerrigan as those main two. I'm not sure how deep his hero pool is or how comfortable he is on other heroes and stuff. But I think playing stuff other than melee assassins might be good for you guys sometimes as well.
Those are both good.
okay?
I think Genji's technically better on the map.
I like Hanzo. It helps with ETC that you can get a global if ETC wants to go stage dive if they have too many interrupts, which Sylvanas, Tyrande, and Johanna all have interrupts so far. And then Hanzo can act as a good engage. Dragon Arrow stage dive is a combo that I've ran in the past with ETC global stage dive and stuff, so
He roams.
I like the Hanzo. Hanzo Genji as a pairing seems like it might be a little bit low on wave clear in the 4-man. It's probably okay. I'm not sure what other better options there might be. You could go Hanzo Junkrat potentially, or just a mage like Kael'thas, Jaina, Um, Genji, I do like pairing with the Malfurion though. Genji Malf
Wait,
is a
let's
good
look
pair.
Genji.
Like, I'm okay with this. It's maybe not the best thing, but I think if you can play Genji well, it's probably fine.
Wave clear's gonna be
Clearance
rough.
would be rough, yeah.
Wave clear is rough.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good that you guys are calling that in draft.
Level. I guess that's one reason. Maybe.
The question is Pi gonna go W build or Q build? Q build will technically help with the wave clear a tiny bit, but I still don't think Q build one-shots a wave with Q until Pierce. So I think you need 2 Qs to clear waves early game anyway, and I don't think the Q quest at level 1 changes that. So maybe I just go W quest just to poke harder. Realistically though, Johanna is pretty easy to get redemption stacks
Level
off
4
of,
when we come online,
and it
so
would
wait.
redemption would be a lot better at
So,
punishing their
Crafty,
squishy
hopefully you
backline
can hold the
compared to
Pokemon
W.
to level 4
I think
maybe.
I think W is inconsistent. I like redemption a fair bit,
You can always send Genji top.
so it's up to you.
That's true. We can just 2-3 it as well.
I want to see what
Yeah,
their
for
last
level
pick
4,
is.
let's just make sure
I
we
think.
win a point.
W build would punish Tehran's lack of like out of combat healing a bit better in terms of poke, so I think I'd be okay with either one. Imperius is also very easy to get redemption stacks off of.
How is that like up to level 10?
Well,
For
unless
you.
he's a fucking god, Imperius, he's gonna be able to hold point for some amount of time because like Misha's never gonna actually kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But his wave clear isn't good enough to deal with Rexar pushing the lane in, so whenever he chooses to just stand on point, he'll be on point. Like he'll be winning that time while he's actually standing there.
Yep,
But as long as Misha's
that is
touching
exactly
the
how it
wall,
is. Pretty much top lane trades control of the point,
But
where
it's a single hero that all of his double
Imperius
shots,
will
like, one
take
of those
control of
doesn't
it
burn through my mana if I
when
try to
Rexar is
push
clearing
it.
the wave, and then once the wave pushes in, Imperius has
So I'll
to
probably
back
go
off of the
Misha
point
off for that.
to get the wave of XP, and then Rexar retakes the point. So it just trades back and forth constantly, like every 15 seconds. So you split it half and half. You trade control. That's a common thing in offlane matchups, especially when one of them like definitely wins the wave clear fight. So yep, that was good of craft data call out from draft that was happening.
God
I
damn
feel
it.
like if she does get close, we just punish her with like a power slide into team blow up.
This bush is fine. I think you guys could, especially with Hanzo Arrow and Genji Shuriken and stuff, you guys could have checked these other bushes and like, especially Genji, I think can play down in these bottom bushes, and that way if people get like face check slid over here by ETC, that Genji can like follow up with a dash over here, or just like if the front line is the one face checking, then the back line is generally playing back over here. It's hard because my mouse is kind of going off screen, but they're playing back over here, and then Genji can like pop out of the bush and poke and chunk them, and then just like dash to safety. It also zones them off of the globe potentially. You're playing over here because you're worried about Sylvanas cheese, but you're seeing them arrow from down bottom.
2 bot, 3 bot, 4 bot.
I'm not sure that the arrow can, or the owl can also be a bait, so I think that was possibly good, but yeah, I also think scouting, like you could have had just ETC in this bush, Genji or Hanzo down here over here scouting. So I'm curious to see what quest Pi went. Not sure whether he went Redemption or W or Q. Personally, I think it's between Redemption and W, but I wouldn't be upset at Q either. I think all three are probably just fine here. I hope ETC went Progrock because you're probably going to want the additional spread healing to deal with Sylvanas Mephisto damage. You guys are controlling Globe, that's good. So Mephisto's using his Shade a lot, so he's going to be out of mana. And, like, I think you guys can punish the Shade. Like, ETC can look to slide it. But you guys could punish Mephisto more, I think. It's a little bit hard into Johanna, but I don't think they should really have kill pressure on you. It's hard because you guys don't have the wave clear until 4, so you guys are just wanting to play back. That's kind of reasonable. And and Rabid does get chunked pretty hard. Okay. It's probably fine for Rabid to play safe. Probably going for Mephisto is too aggressive. That's probably a holdover from last game that I'm pointing it out when it's probably not as good of an idea this time. I think you should be moonfiring a lot more, and you guys should be pressuring the Johanna a lot more, both Genji and Hanzo, in addition to Melf. I didn't see what talent you went at level 1, Solskito, but I think the auto attack talent is pretty solid.
Yeah, do it.
Because you're already going to want to pressure frontline by spamming Ws into them anyway.
Nice.
That's good. you guys are getting camp here. This is kind of a weird time to get camp. Like you can get camp at 1 minute here on this map, same as you can do on like Dragonshire and stuff like that. And then the objective spawns at 1:30. So that way you have the camp pushing the lane for you while the objectives become active. Right now the objectives become active, and then you're like, you know what we want to do instead of controlling objective? Why don't we do a camp, which will help us control the objective. So it's like
We were camping.
getting to the same goal, but slower and in a lot more of a roundabout way. You are technically still getting the camp out sooner and then getting the XP, but I think it would have been better to do this right at 1 minute.
Crafty's gonna carry us this game.
Especially if you know that you're going to have the weaker wave clear until level 4 anyway. You can maybe just leave ETC
They send us
down
to
here
Lucky top
to
right
soak
now,
the wave.
so-
And then Genji can maybe just roam up top lane fairly often in this game and look for kills on Imperius. And then
They might
you
be
guys,
here.
the three of you, Malfurion, Hanzo, and ETC,
There we go.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard for you guys to win the objective. Well, they're doing this camp instead. This camp is hard to do early. Is that instead of winning the objective, you guys can just hold the lane bottom and let Genji get ganks off and stuff. And then when Genji ganks top, he can come down and help you,
Mephisto.
and then you can win, because they're going to have to send somebody top lane. So yeah, Mephisto's stuck here. He's completely dead. Should be dead. Oh, okay, well he's out, so that's fine. Toronto's also stuck. They can't, like, if Mephisto's out of the fight and Toronto's out of the fight, then this is a 4v2, and all you have to do is sustain long enough that you can win it. So I think you guys can absolutely take this camp. You see Imperius down here now, and you guys are controlling objective. So now it's just about objective time. So you don't worry, you can give this camp now. Who cares about the camp? Just get out, be safe, good root, good slide, good boop.
We're getting point, just hold point.
And so yeah, you basically gave them their camp,
Okay, they're gonna be desperate.
which they were already wanting to get, but instead they gave up the entire objective for
We
it.
just interrupted the channel as well.
I have a root.
Yeah, that's right.
Rabid should be stepping up more than Solskiddo here, because you guys want to keep them off the point to finish off the objective channel here. She stepped on
Alright,
it.
so we just use this thing.
It's like, the one zoning them off should not be just Solskiddo, because he's never going to zone off a Johanna.
These are
I don't know what
They're not getting
the rest of you guys are doing. Both DPS could be up here pushing her, and then, I mean, they want to clear the camp, but especially because it's Merc Queen.
I'm gonna root.
So.
Root self.
There's a close follow-up on the route. You guys weren't really calling this that well, and because of Malf being up here, like, Rabid went in, but the call wasn't really, like, I'm looking for an engage here when they step up.
I have to go around.
Sylvie ease down should be the call. So that's why you engage Rabid, which makes sense, but nobody called that, and then Malf wasn't really, like, ready and looking for it.
Root self.
So yeah, the route just barely misses. It's kind of unfortunate. You guys should have been able to kill Sylve there, I think. Rabid gets killed by the camp. This camp is really strong with Merc Queen, actually.
She's out, I think.
Roxas wasn't in the competitive
God.
map pool for a while,
Shit.
nor in
They
ranked,
killed the wall just as
I
was
think.
jumping over it.
so I haven't really considered
What? How
Merc
did that
Queen
not hit?
on this map. I think Genji's not poking them enough still. It's hard into Mephisto for you to not take too much damage, but
Sylve trade should still be
I do
down.
think also there should be more Moonfires going out.
I'm on my way.
It's more so about the healing, so you want to be hitting heroes. It's not about the wave clear. The wave clear should be a Hanzo ETC job. I think you absolutely want to go Echo Pedal as well for wave clear Rabid.
Mephisto?
So this should be Mephisto free kill. Good.
Nice.
Now you guys can clear the camp,
Point.
and then Rabid can go step on the point. You
Getting
guys should
bottom
cap
channel.
objective now. And this is going bottom, so you guys want to 4-push bottom and leave Rexar top.
Coming up to pressure out.
Surrender.
Mephisto is still dead, so it's a 4v3. Yep, she can't step up onto you guys. It's good.
Blow that
I think
bottom.
one could go control the globe. I would want Hanzo to vision around here. I like visioning either on this block or this block. This block you get vision of like both of these bushes. This block you also get vision of them like coming around underneath or just being over here. And it also still gives vision on this bush.
They're probably on top camp.
Because root uses a lot of mana. So you don't want to be using root to like scout stuff there. Even though it does zone them off of the globe, I think that was more so Pi not using vision more. You can also just moonfire the bush, and that would be way better than using root. Use root if it's like
They're on both. They're on both.
actually going to zone off somebody there once you see them, or it's
Alright.
going to lead to a kill or
And,
something. Don't use root for vision. Use moonfire for vision. Saves you like 70 mana every time you do that. So they do not have good wave clear because
Iron's
Sylvanas
getting
went
down,
Merc
should
Queen
push it
instead
back
of poison. So their Zerg clear is pretty weak, especially if you just zone and poke Johanna. So the DPS here, especially Pi and Phantoms, should focus on poking Johanna so that she can't step up. Poking the other DPS is good,
Punish
but
that.
Johanna's the main wave clear, so you want to poke Johanna here. Mephisto is actually getting kind of decent wave clear here too. But you guys should be able to push for a fort with this, I think. Or close to it. So here we're still focusing structures. I think all the DPS should be on Johanna here. The structures will die as long as Johanna can't clear the wave. So you don't need to like focus them. But if Johanna can free clear the wave, then you can't get the fort ever. So the kill on Johanna was kind of a nice idea, but she's going to be too tanky probably for you to kill. You might have wanted to cleanse Rabbit here to get him out. I'm not sure. Good route.
So
Kill the Sylve off. I think Rabbit could have walked all the way out through the Mephisto ring. Good slide to get out though. Okay. You guys are fully backed off.
Okay.
So you've evened up the structures bot lane. Your camp should be up pretty soon. There it is. Alfurion had to recall.
This fort's free.
Hanzo should just look for wave clear, so just focus on hitting Q on minions here. I think that's the main reason why you probably don't want to go Q quest, is you want to be using as many Qs as you can on the wave, rather than on heroes.
Dive them anyway. They're stupid.
Oh,
So they got the fort, that's pretty bad for you guys.
Do our
Actually.
easy camp.
So yep, they might be on your camp. Either Moonfire this bush, or Vision Arrow the bush, or do something. You guys aren't using your vision mechanics very well this game, I think.
I wouldn't mind.
Genji shurikens are also good for checking bushes.
Can go.
Right now would be a good time.
Coming.
We need to finish.
Just send Genji. Just send Genji.
Well, I need the Q. That's why I want to.
Oh, I see. All right.
Care, they might all be here.
Yeah, I think that's also a reason you don't want to go Q quest, is you're not likely to hit the Imperius very easily or very early. It's one thing if like there's a mid lane where you'll be able to quickly snipe the offlaner once at the beginning of the game, and then get the other 4 in the 4-man. It's different on like a 2-lane map where you're not going to see the offlaner. So I think on BOE and
Rotating up, rotating up.
Praxis,
You're just gonna push
it's
it down
less,
still.
and Hanamura, it's less likely that Q quest is
They might
good.
be sending Imperius out to double soak.
So yeah, I think that means you went Q quest. I think I would have rather seen the other 2 this game, but it's okay. So still focused on clearing camps. So yeah, they're gonna completely lane swap now because they have nothing to get from a push in the bot lane. Which means you guys are kind of forced to match them. Which is fine, but I think you guys were kind of slow to react to it. That you guys were saying just send 1 or 2 up here when realistically you guys all 4 should have gone up here, I think. Yep, Mephisto's a good call. The boop kind of means you missed the root. I think your synergy was a little bit off there. He's coming back to the shade, so he's 100% dead. Just kill the shade.
Coming back.
That is the exact call that my team does, is just he's coming back.
Low top.
That way everybody knows what's happening. He's coming back.
Care bottom. Let's do
camp
hard
is
camp.
And he's gonna die.
Let's do hard camp.
Okay.
They'll be up for that.
By the way, I need those
Yep,
MIAs,
hard
like,
camp is a good
right
call.
The fuck away because I mean the map.
It's tiny, yeah. There's 3 top.
What is Crafty saying?
Care bottom.
Their
Let's do
camp
hard
is
camp. Let's do hard camp.
Okay.
They'll be up for that.
By the way, I need those MIAs like right the fuck away because.
Oh, he needs the missings. Yeah, yeah.
It's tiny, yeah. There's 3 top right now.
Realistically, it's a lot harder for them to gank. Most likely what they'll do is they'll have Sylvanas get a camp in the far lane, and then push with the camp. But they'll probably not really
For 1
gank.
second.
They don't have good gank tools. Sylv is the closest thing, and it's decent, but not super great. So yeah, this would be a time to call
we only
missing.
see, like,
Okay,
2 or
you see
3.
Sylv
Sylv has
and
no
Mephisto and
Will be
Johanna.
done.
There's
3
okay,
top, 4 top.
all of them, 4 top, good. Good route to zone, even though it's on Johanna. I think that
Joe,
was fine.
Iron Skin.
He's coming back. You guys can look to engage on this. You can just like look to Twilight Dream him even. I think Phantoms can look to dash on this guy immediately. I don't think Rabid is he's full HP. He doesn't need to be scared. He can look for a slide even. Oh, he just used slide. Okay. Well, he could look for a boop
Let's
maybe over
Joe
here.
Iron
He
Skin.
might have used boop there. I don't know. It's hard for me to see. I
Let's
think that was just
Joe
Echo Pedal.
Iron Skin.
Yeah. Okay. You probably can't kill Mephisto again. Okay, I'm getting baited by that. You
Remember,
guys
we
are
have
actually
no,
doing good not getting
no
baited by that.
water in the well,
But I want to
so-
kill the Mephisto more. Because, like, he shouldn't really be able to shade without seeing the root go down first or something. Or the
Let's
power
Soul
slide.
first.
So, yeah, if you see this shade, I think Pi, you guys can look for a Dragon Arrow slide on this guy and blow him up. You'll lose control of the point, but who cares? And then Phantoms can look to dash on that as well. So Pi wants to either go down over this way or probably this way. You could even just flip down here and then look to aim the arrow over here. And you're going to slide first and then arrow as a follow-up. So once you see the slide happen, you aim arrow. Because it needs to be pretty quick after the slide. But you go like slide, and then you can even, I would probably hold the boop, but you could technically boop into the arrow. But yeah, I think Pi getting further away so that the arrow stuns longer, and then just Genji, Pi damage, and Rabid all kill this guy. You could, I think actually jumping down here is probably better, because then you can probably still hit a Q here, and maybe a W off of like this wall or something. I think Mephisto should have died here. This is a time where it's not a bait, and then he wouldn't have ever gotten this ult off. Good protect by Genji.
Okay, now that's all done.
Same thing again. You guys can punish this. Kill this guy. We used root here again to scout a bush. Moonfire first.
Do you
Sylve on
want
me,
to
Sylve on
engage?
me. Sylve on me.
Imagine if we had a root on point or on the Mephisto Shade and a Dragon Arrow follow up
Okay.
and stuff.
Coming.
So this is a problem of Sylve or Genji into Sylve.
My ult's down for 10.
Leave.
I have no
So
help.
Phantoms is chunked out.
Genji out. Genji out.
You guys can't look to step on this now until Genji's healthy. But Rexar has control of bottom, so now Genji's gonna go look to kick bottom. He has low health still though, right? He needs to be careful.
They're gonna take top. Just FYI.
Good stun. You should be able to die here. Nice try on the dash, but
They're
I
on
think
top.
I would have held the dash for after the kidnap
Squeeze.
thing.
Do you want an arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Arrow.
arrow's a good call.
Mushroom?
Slide?
Looking.
Oh yeah, you went Mosh instead of stage dive. I think
Ready.
stage dive would have been good too. Yeah, Mosh just got instantly.
Sylve.
What's the kill target though? I think it's Sylve, because their other two squishies are back here and not hit by a stun.
Looking.
So the Mosh was late. He's waiting for the Sylve, and this was lucky that the Shade, or the Shade and the Sylve wave went to the same place to get moshed, but
Ready.
Tehran stuns it. Oh no, I don't even know what stuns it. Tehran was gonna stun it. I guess Johanna
Sylve.
probably.
Sylve's rooted.
Sylve gets rooted. I also think going Dragon Blade into Sylve is really asking for trouble. I think I absolutely would go X-Strike. You guys are definitely a more bursty comp this game. That I don't think Dragon Blade is probably the pick, especially with how much disruption and CC and stuff they have to get away from you. Condemn,
Slide
and
one.
Mephisto can shade himself
Sylve's
away,
We're out, we're out.
and the spread damage like
I
isn't
feel
as
now.
good because Johanna's gonna shield half of it.
Furious is now missing.
Imperius is probably gonna shield half of it, stuff like that. So in team fights, I think X-Strike would have been better. That you can just follow up off an engage and just blow one target up immediately. Realistically, their damage is kind of low, so that if you kill one of the DPS, you'll probably never lose the team fight because the other one isn't going to be able to deal enough damage to kill you.
Right, Imperius is back.
Same thing, time number 3 or 4 here, where Mephisto shaded in, punish the shade. No punish on the shade. We're using root again with no follow-up CC or whatever. Like, it zones them off, but they're already standing on points, so it's zoning off people that they wouldn't even step up right here anyway. And it's using a lot of mana.
Above us.
I think Malf wants to be able to step in and look for a dream here too. I guess you can't really punish the Mephisto Shade because you already used Dragon Arrow. Yeah, okay, I'm dumb. Mephisto Shade is over here again. I think if he gets low going in on these engages, like if Hanzo just like does a a bounce arrow off of this wall or something and chunks him like to half HP. Phantoms can still look in on him though. If he had like X strike, you could just like dash X strike on the point and on the shade and possibly chunk him. This route I'm more okay with. I still think it's better to hold it for follow-up CC. I think you're using a lot of mana using it like this, and it's not really getting value.
Slide up if you get a chance.
Yeah.
It's using the cooldown. Like now you would want a route on Sylph right now. And then you could step in and silence her so that she can't get her wave out. Because that's what she's trying to do right now. But instead you're actually out of mana. You can cast a silence there even if you wanted to. You weren't really positioned to either.
You slide up if you get a chance.
Yeah.
You get condemned, and here I would walk up towards the Sylph. You get bless shielded. Still walking this way. I mean, it's hard because you don't want to walk into them and their damage, but I want to walk in. If I'm a suicide bomber and I just get silence off on the Sylph here, we win the fight. So I think it's kind of understandable, Suskido, but
Nearly
I think the mana and the roots are a bigger problem than missing the dream there.
I'm curious.
Kill this guy, please, for the love of God, kill this guy. Go slide this guy, go root this guy, go silence this guy. Firemaker, Dragon Arrow this guy. Phantoms, go dash on this guy. Please kill him. Yeah, Hanzo Arrow that. Firemaker. Firemaker.
Leave, leave, leave.
Firemaker.
Just not having a fort is a real fucking drag.
There's a well in the middle.
I think you all need to
You gotta heal up.
play against Mephisto more often. So that you're used to, especially as a group.
Coming
I think you should scrim this team again, if you can. And you could even request that they play Mephisto. And your goal is, like, to punish Mephisto. I probably wouldn't request that they play Mephisto. They'll probably just do it anyway. Because I think if you ask them to play Mephisto, he's going to play completely differently. Because he's going to know that you're going to, like, target him or something.
Mid here.
So I would scrim this team and get ready to
coming up for mid.
punish both Mephisto and the Sylvanas player. Both their positionings are, like, insane and stupid. You could Dragon Arrow this again right now, Hanzo, and then ETC could slide. And Genji could dash and probably insta-kill him, and then you'd be on Sylph.
They're kind of all over the place.
You also maybe could have slid and gone on Tyrant here. It's hard because you didn't have vision in this bush, but like right now, you could probably hit that slide.
All over the place.
Johanna was looking to
Retake top. Retake
escort the Tyrant, but it's fine. So yep, go to top.
Furious right behind.
Get that objective. Yep, they're gonna come contest you and try and split you off on the slow rotate.
Coming, coming.
Their squish DPS are going first. Johanna's behind them, so ETC can look with this, especially with Phantoms. I think all you want to do is just step on this for a split second and then come down. You don't need to get the full cap on it, because you're never getting full control of the bot lane immediately. Whereas I think if Genji was just like, an ETC had just stepped on this for a second and then come back, especially with the call of them engaging and cutting you guys off, you guys could have blown up the Sylph face checking you and stuff.
Furious.
Root's good, but would have been better after that slide, that then you could have followed it up. But it's fine. Good boop. I think you could step in for a silence here as well.
Furious.
Good Rexar stun. I would want to step in for a silence. You could just kill this guy. Finish him off? Okay. Genji dashes in and gets immediately bless shielded. Good protect. Can walk in.
Genji out. Damn.
Silence was kinda...
Kill.
is the right idea, but late here. I think you could have walked in on the Mephisto and shade or in silenced sooner.
Genji out. Damn.
Maybe before he got the ring off. Maybe it saves Genji's life. Probably not, but that route is fine for peel. Like this is when you want to use that sort of route like that as peel, and to just zone off an area.
Top
So when
left,
you're like
clear
retreating.
bottom. You also got a clear bottom.
They're on the camp, they're on the camp.
Coming.
They are on that
Okay,
camp.
guys.
It's not much you can do with Genji down though, because they're 5 and you're not.
Mephisto.
Yep, Mephisto, he's coming back.
Mephisto.
Just
coming
focus
back.
Johanna for now. She's booped off the point. Now you go on Mephisto. He's gonna have to step off the point. Misha dies, that's fine. We need Rabid to look for a slide and then follow up with this route. Do we not have interrupts here? Okay, we killed him first.
Nice.
That's fine. Good.
Channel top.
I'm going for bot.
Yep, Genji going for bottom is fine. Rexar's going for bottom. Okay, I think this is a little bit weird of split focus. I would have gone for one and then the other, but this is fine. It looks like you're getting both. Imperius is bottom now. Genji should go help bot lane. You guys are pushing top lane with your camp. Genji's leaving the bot lane. I don't know why.
I'm gonna go pressure.
That route is decent. I mean, at this point, you guys aren't pushing top because you're not 4 up here with this camp. But I think either Genji should have been here the whole time,
What do we want to do?
and then you look for Johanna without
I'm gonna go pressure
unstoppable,
Imperious, I guess.
with like
Okay.
slide and Genji damage and stuff, or you just go gank bottom or something.
We can't outpush them, and they have a massive wave build up already. I'm open to input on what we need to do, but I'm kind of stuck as
Here's Mephisto again. Sylva's kind of out of position as well.
this.
Mephisto Shade is on the point, out of range of Tyrande. This route will even hit him as he comes back to this shade, I
That was
believe.
no bot.
I think you could have engaged this. Rabid Pie and Solskito. Genji's not with you, but
Hard.
actually that's probably true.
Maybe
With Genji not being with you, it's probably
Yeah,
too
good.
aggressive. I don't know. I want you guys to play so much more aggressive than you are.
Probably gonna head down to bottom.
I think I'm actually looking for it more often than you should be.
They're all off map.
they're probably getting marked.
Getting this camp is a good idea. That'll help one side of the map so that you can push on the other
They're on
and
top.
keep control of both. You guys are slightly ahead in XP.
Top kills.
So yeah, now you want to go for top. Hanzo's a little bit late, but he can drag an arrow and still help when he's far away from a fight. Rabid is stepping up a little bit far here. I think Rabid would rather control the shrine area here. You want to depush their minions, but you don't have to depush them like immediately,
We clear this wave.
because they're gonna
There.
come to the keep and whatnot, so it's fine.
1, 2, 3 top.
Where you're clearing them is right about the right idea. Pi gets out without getting bless shielded, that's good.
Nice.
At the bottom three.
His positioning was kind of iffy. You could have also jumped this way, possibly, but it's fine. So yeah,
They're
I would
rotating.
call missing now.
They're
They,
not
yeah,
gonna
they might
focus.
come
They're
bottom.
Still here, but
Still
they
see
may
3.
be leaving soon.
Imperius is dealing with that. You want me to come gank?
That's also a possible good idea from Rexar. Yeah, I kind of like that. You see Imperius still bot lane? Yeah, Rexar came up. That's good. Okay. I think Rabbit should be the one coming in down here,
They're missing.
and we should have Vision arrowed to scout the bushes, like Vision arrow on top of this thing so that you see the bush and a little bit more around this area.
They're backing up.
Because they can all be over in here and we don't know. They're most likely over here or down getting their camp. I like where Genji is right now,
Push.
able to like flank and respond bot lane.
Sylv.
See Sylv, she's face checking you. If you just slide boop her so she can't get her haunting waves, you have to stun her like ASAP though. And then you can walk in, root, silence, whatever else. And yeah, you gotta be faster on that CC Rebid. Because if you CC her before she can take the wave and the wave expires, then she's just a
Sylv,
sitting
he is
duck
down.
and she's dead.
Mephisto's here.
You can slide him and Mosh. Probably just slide, and he's a free kill.
Arrow.
Right idea.
Shit.
Rabid was the only one
Okay,
not on
we're
the same
getting
page.
channels
It's
this
fine.
whole point.
This is why we gotta communicate,
We need
and we
to
gotta know that we
I
can kill
think,
Mephisto and whatnot.
if we can.
I don't like that route.
Otherwise they
If it wasn't Johanna, if it was some other like mobile frontline, like if it was ETC or something, it's a bit more understandable. But
Alright, I'm dealing with the bottom then.
Johanna has unstoppable, so
We're all
so you guys get the push here.
I think we gotta send at least one.
Yeah, you should send
Okay.
one bottom, probably Rexar.
No, just Rexar, I think.
Okay.
You guys need a fort off this real bad. Please kill this shade, Rabid. You gotta slide this man. It's all you.
Okay.
See, she's even scared. She's even popping a shadow stock for it and stuff. Who is this? This isn't Imperius, right? Oh, it is Imperius. Where did he come from? How does he just like appear out of thin air? Oh, because he's stealthed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, by the shadow stock. That was convenient timing.
Okay,
I don't think they planned that.
They're 5 top.
Good
5
boop.
top.
That route was fine. Just keeping Rabbit healthy is fine.
There are a clump.
So all the rest of their team are retreating and going this way. Guess who's split by the fort and not retreating and standing still? So I think you can honestly walk up and raw silence her. Possibly, as Malf. She used her E forward. This guy used Shade already. She's a sitting duck. Free kill. Aren't you guys getting really scared by them?
Back up, back up, back up.
There's Bless Shield, they wasted that for no reason. So they've
They used
wasted 3
everything.
of their ults already before the
they
fight
used
even
everything.
starts.
3 ults are down right now.
Yep.
The only thing they
Good
have
call.
is Wailing Arrow
Sylvanas shaded in.
and Imperious.
Still.
Mosh. Got a Mosh Rabid. Silence was the right idea. This fight is just really messy once Solskito dies. There's not much you can do. I think the engage was the main issue here.
And Imperious.
Like,
3 ults are
Genji's
down.
leaving, you guys
The
aren't
only thing
looking
they
for an
have
engage here,
is
and Pi
Wailing
kind of
Arrow
almost
and
gets caught.
Imperious.
Still.
I think you just boop them away here and then slide away with either Solskito or Pi. I think sliding in is kind of too aggressive. Genji has to turn back. But they're all 5 up here into your 4, so I think the re-engage was kind of a bait.
Dead.
Oh, that doesn't kill you. Nice. Genji gets out, hopefully.
Bot lane.
Oh, the raw mount up and then the standstill. Yeah, you saw them in the
I was
bush.
on my
What are you
way
doing,
out
Genji?
time, I didn't realize.
Oh. How are you living? You're at like
Use
negative
it to go
HP.
Forward. So I was trying to take advantage of that. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
realize you weren't
4v5
looking.
too, though.
Do you actually live?
Me.
They were down LTs, I figured it was fine.
Alright, you lived. Yeah, that was, I don't know what happened there, but
You can go look at it.
can't walk towards the bush
Okay,
that they're
arrow.
going into.
That came from
And
both.
you gotta
It
move quick.
has to be done then.
I think the mount was pretty brave. You think they're on boss, potentially? They are on boss.
Arrow.
Good boop. Okay. Sylva used her E already. You need to get in here and be able to root and stuff and get heals on them, Solskito. Yeah, this is just going to be a messy fight regardless. Good arrow. Somehow ETC stays alive. She's probably going to still stun you. Or just auto you to death. I think Mephisto or Sylvanas are still the main kill targets here. Probably Mephisto. Well, he's getting healed a bunch, but now that's done. Okay, Johanna's still low. Hanzo's going to come in
Kill Joe,
and
kill
probably
Joe,
be able to poke and finish them off. Joe is low. Oh man. All the poke.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Wait, you guys got the boss
Kill,
somehow.
kill.
How the heck did that happen?
Kill Joe.
Oh, because Joe is the only one standing on the point and left.
Still.
And Sylph tried to step on. Okay.
Leave.
Honestly, that was possibly worth 2 of you dying extra.
Solid steal though. They have to defend that now. Defend top.
I'll take top, yeah.
I'll quickly get soak pot.
Okay, well that was interesting. Oh, I want to see the talents. 1 sec. Okay. So you went full Q build. I don't know the icons for ETC, so I don't know whether you went whatever, Echo Pedal. Mouth, I think you could have gone the auto attack one at level 1. Let's see. I think the rest of this is standard. And all fine, I think. I do think Stage Dive would have been good this game instead of Mosh as well. But, I mean, given that you have Mosh, I think you've been playing fine. I think you would have played it differently, and ETC would have been offlaning more if you had Stage Dive, and then you would have Rexar playing with the 4-man, but it's fine. Because you don't.
Try to get out of the way.
But I think that's something that you guys should have maybe talked about and considered a bit more.
Rotating to the camp. They're probably gonna do their own camps.
That's the first vision arrow I've seen.
Gonna go scout for other camp.
And it didn't really do anything. No offense.
Turn the owl, just owled here.
Still a fine idea, but good call on where they're
About
owling.
an invade from there. Maybe Misha here.
From where?
Good call on where they might be invading from.
Never mind, they're showing bottom.
Yep, they are
Another
showing
camp
bottom.
is
Good
up.
call. You have a camp pushing top
Flank this way.
and bot lane now.
By the way.
They only have a camp pushing bottom, so they're probably going to be bottom to kill your camp and
Bottom.
Just go.
push with theirs. Oh, you think they're going to be on the camp? You can gank Imperius here. Just go straight on Imperius. They owled you. Okay, Imperius is going to back off, so you can't get it now. You can just send Genji over the wall to cap top, and the rest of you go bottom.
They can't clear. Sealed up.
Genji has a good escape. Genji could have like jumped over the wall and then he kind of, excuse me, always E out
Where is Mephisto?
if they come to engage on him. They're still trying to get the camp and stuff. I think you guys definitely could have been getting cap percentage this whole time while still like stalling out
Finish.
like this,
On the
but
camp,
it's
on
fine
the camp.
because they're trying to wait until level 20 before they fight you. Good boop.
Ooh,
Misha might die here, but it's fine.
We out.
You guys are missing a lot of potential channel here.
Imperius?
Followed.
I think Imperius is, yeah, he's actually suicidal. You can just walk in and silence him. Pi, you can honestly just Dragon Arrow him. Like, just kill this guy if he's in like this. You just need to secure the kill, I think. Here would be a good time to root this area, I think. Solskito.
Good damage.
Or here. Or here as a retreat. Yeah, that one's good.
Good root. They may be looking to come this way.
They're gonna
think
go
they
that
wanna
top option.
Send Genji over the wall. Up top. Genji's not wave clear. You don't need Genji bottom.
We're split.
Genji needs to be looking for kills or just playing the mobility game
Don't go.
of being the safest person to go poke his head and stuff.
Through boss.
They just
Owl
owled
came
this.
out, saw Genji.
I'm gonna go tap mid. Please wait.
Okay, Genji's low HP, so he's going to tap. That's a good call.
No vision bottom.
They're
or
probably
mid.
going here.
Yeah, they're gonna
Or this
go down
direction.
through bottom. There's the
Still
owl.
top.
Okay, you see 3 of them top.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be top in here.
20 before
I like this positioning. You guys are gonna try and fight before 20. This guy's alone. This guy's super alone. All his backline are way up here. This guy is super dead.
That's what they're waiting on.
Kill Imperius.
Imperius
Call
is here,
Imperius,
Imperius
Imperius,
is
Imperius,
here.
Imperius.
Reddit, Reddit.
Good route. Good slide. Good
Damage
dream.
is in lane.
Good.
Excellent.
Nice.
Nice. Good
That's
job.
what you guys have needed to do all game long. We finally did it. Okay.
We have channel.
Yep, good chase on
Mephisto,
Mephisto.
maybe?
Yeah, you can chase him. You're fine.
Stay on him.
Less shields for
I'm going.
Peel, they're fine. Rabbit's completely
Arrow.
fine. Good Dragon Arrow.
Good arrow.
You can slide now,
He's
or
gonna be
just
back here,
mosh.
he's
He's
rooted.
coming
He'll be
back.
rooted, he'll be rooted.
He'll be rooted. Good call, good route.
Good kill.
Beautiful, guys. Okay, we finally figured it out.
Push
We got
I'm
there.
gonna Push that out.
Alright, That was
I'm
good.
gonna sit top and just defend.
you guys want objective progress here. It's pushing bottom. Just start pushing bot lane, because you're going to want to push all of bot wave in, and you guys need to get keep off this. They have 2 dead for 40 seconds. Technically, only 20 seconds with 2 dead, but
Coming.
you guys can push a lot harder. I don't know why you're like, just Genji can stall off them top lane, and then
Mephisto's
if
still
they all
looking
5
for-
go top lane, Genji can always dash away. And at that, like worst case scenario, then you have the choice of 4-man pushing bottom lane as you are already doing and getting a free keep before the Zerg have even spawned, and then maybe you threaten core, or you then just rotate all up on them and they're like stuck on this half of the map out really far and probably dead because you're all
We push
5 gonna rotate on them.
Joe here.
So I think you guys could have been pushing bottom harder this whole time, but it's fine. You guys are still gonna probably rip through this stuff because you're 20s. Okay, Imperius is alive now. We should call that. Just so that people are aware. I like killing all these walls as much as you can, especially the mid wall. Just open up vision. Vision is super important. I would vision arrow around in here as well.
Looking for kills. We need
Looking for kills is fine. I think you're looking for the keep mainly,
kills to end.
but Rabid can look for kills. Like if Imperius and Sylvanas are stepping up like that, you can look for kills. You want to call out that you don't have ults either for like another 20 seconds.
Imperius.
Okay, Imperius is a good call.
Rooted?
Yeah, he's rooted.
Bolt down.
Switching
Oh,
to
that
Imperius.
how did that root miss?
Imperius.
Blizzard.
One
Rooted?
field.
Yeah, you rooted literally underneath his feet.
So bolt
Somehow
down.
it missed. It like, okay, whatever.
Switching to Imperius.
On Imperius.
He
Is unstoppable.
used Unstoppable. Johanna used her Unstoppable. You have Dream
Still
in
on
5.
Imperius.
Would call that. Yep, good boop. Dream in 5. Nice.
Balance.
They wasted Silence Arrow. Wailing Arrows.
I have a root
So-
on your charge.
Okay. Somebody should call for end here.
Zoning.
Core.
Sylph.
Like Rabbit can say I'm zoning,
Where's
just
ready?
hit core or something. You guys can call core here.
Sylph.
Rooted?
Self.
Sylv, nice, good route.
Nice.
dream.
Mosquito, that was awesome.
Kill Mephisto. Okay.
I'm
I think you
core.
guys could have killed
All in
Mephisto
core,
there,
all in
but
core.
now you go core. Alright, good. You guys played the end game, like the last like
Job
3 or
done,
4
rest
minutes
it.
of this map
Ooh,
really
that
well.
was nice. That was a
Um,
good finish.
The early and mid game was pretty rough. I think partly that was like talent choices, like Hanzo Q build and not going stage dive and stuff. But other than that, and I think again it's the same story as game 1, where you guys missed a lot of opportunities to punish their DPS's positioning, and like missed a lot of kills and like a lot of micro teamfight stuff. and communication. More communication. It was better towards the end, but there was a lot of like mid-game communication of it didn't seem like you knew who was going to engage first. Was it going to be Dragon Arrow? Was it going to be ETC Power Slide? Who was it going to be? It was kind of like, should I arrow? Like you asked a couple times, stuff like that. Which like it's good to ask if you're unsure, but I think that should have been hopefully more set in stone and clear. At least, ideally from the start of the game, but at least like once ults came online or something like that. And then if it starts out one way and then you're like, you talk it out and it doesn't go very well, you can adapt to it and switch it around as the game goes. But that's, again, comes down to communication. So honestly, I don't think that game was played like significantly better than the second game, or the second game wasn't played significantly better than the first game, up until maybe the very end few minutes there. Like I said, other than that, it felt about the same. So I feel like this night was just kind of like off for you guys. I don't know if that was the comps or the team or what, but yeah. Okay, going on to game 3 here.
He's not that
I'm gonna
good.
double check on my time. It's already been an hour and 40 minutes on this thing. Okay, try and finish
Well, I
this
was
up.
gonna say it's a very like
Try and go through this one a little bit faster because I think I've covered probably most of what the mistakes are going to be in the first 2 games already, and that should be probably plenty for you guys to go off of. I don't want to overload you guys too much. So bans, we already went over this. Okay, you stopped banning Kel'Thuzad and start banning ATC. That's good, especially when they're first pick. Thumbs up. I like that from Pi.
He had a good run.
They take Sylv.
okay. What do we want? Tanks are up. Healers are up.
Okay.
I think you want to take Anduin here, and then probably either a Nubarak or Johanna. That's what I think. I think your comps have lately been a little bit lacking in wave clear. I think, no offense or not trying to point fingers or whatever, but part of that is Phantom's hero pool being very small and really none of them having super good wave clear. Maiev is like the best out of them, and even then, like they nerfed her wave clear and stuff. It's just okay. And you would rather use her not for wave clear, but more so for camp clear and for kill pressure and stuff. So because you guys have been lacking wave clear in drafts, I think I would prioritize Johanna more, especially after Anubarak's been getting nerfed. I think Johanna is probably slightly better than Anubarak now. But they're about the same. I still think they're probably the 2 best tanks right now. ETC is maybe up there as like a 3rd, though. Just the way he's been in the meta has been solid. He's good into Diablo, and he's like an in-between. He's like a better Garrosh to me, is what it feels like, where he's like able to be more aggressive but still be defensive at the same time, sort of. So yeah, I think you first pick Anduin because it's the best healer, and you take Johanna. That's what I think.
So
Muro, maybe? I don't know.
I love
Noob.
Toronto. Let's do Toronto Noob.
Okay. I think Murd and Tyrande or Tyrande Noob are also a solid pairing. If you want to be more aggressive, which I think that's kind of been your problem, so I don't know if that's like you're trying to fix the problem by just like forcing yourself to be aggressive, or this is like it's not going well and you're trying to force it and it's bad. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether it's good or bad, but it's at least an option to try and fix it.
Their dude plays him, so I think unless they ban it, we're fine.
Pick up Zul.
There it
Okay,
is.
they're going double soak, 4-man.
Yeah, so Zul wasn't really a consideration on Braxis. Zul is definitely a consideration on Dragonshire. I think it's more of a consideration for their 4-man, more so than the offlane, but I guess it can still double soak from offlane. But double soaking from the offlane is a bit trickier on this map. Your last pick again, so you can absolutely counterpick the Zul. It is completely up to you of what you want that counterpick to be. I think either you're going to have to match him on wave clear, which would be like Blaze, or I'm not even sure if Leoric is fast enough, or Dahaka or something. I'm not sure what the counterpick to Zul is. I think going into this game, you guys should have had a plan for Zul after game 1. Or you should have banned it. Possibly over the Malthael. Maybe Malthael is good into Zul? I don't know, that doesn't seem super true. Let's try to think. Rexar doesn't seem that bad. Maybe Rexar is good enough. Otherwise, I think you could go a ranged hero and just try and punish the Zul. I don't know if Phoenix or Raynor are good. I don't know.
spot.
It's tricky.
So we
I
need
don't know
Crafty
Zul
on
offlane matchup,
a
so I'll maybe
double
have to
silver.
ask other people about that.
That, or we do a 2.
Okay, what are you banning? You're banning a tank. Johanna's the only real tier 1 tank still available. Or Diablo, because that's the other good tank that guy plays. So I think it's between Diablo and Johanna for what you're banning on tank. I think Diablo is easier to abuse, even though it's probably better, so I think I would rather ban Johanna. And if they go Diablo, you can go like Tychus, or Raynor, or other stuff, and just kill Diablo. I think that's my plan. Other options for bans? I think it's between those two for me.
We just pick somebody with enough wave clear to make the silver relevant, so that she can step up to use her trait, and we can punish her for it.
Oh, I like Junkrat in the 4-man against Zul also a lot, because he's pretty immobile, and if you boop him back, he's like gonna die. And so if you just have an Uberek Tyrant CC and then you boop him back with Junkrat mine, he's probably dead. Or you can just go like Thrall in the 4-man, but I like this idea of like just get wave clear so that Sylvanas doesn't matter. But I think you also want like some sort of CC and CC the Zul to death, probably, because right now they've shown that they're not going to have a cleanse as well with Stukov.
Johanna, I'd ban
Yeah,
Johanna.
I don't think that there's any solo laner who can dual soak better than Zul can.
Okay, I like the Johanna ban. They banned Kerrigan.
Haka.
It's an option.
Yes.
Rainer's a good
Because I
blind
have
pick
no
here.
idea what to do for
I'm not sure on Dahaka. I'm not sure it's good enough. I think if you guys play around Dahaka, maybe it's fine, but the global is hard.
Now.
They go Garrosh now. Okay. 100% your next pick is Jaina. There is no other option. It is Jaina. It's Jaina into Garrosh. Jaina into Zul is still good. Jaina punishes Cassia because she only has physical armor. Like, it's Jaina. Jaina is the secret.
I can Junkrat and just blow them up, try to carry.
Those all work.
Genji's
Those all work.
Genji's good into Zul. Zul can do shit to him.
I don't think that.
Alright, I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna go.
So I think this is kind of Phantom's hero pool again, poking its head into things. I don't know whether he would be more comfortable on Jaina or Raynor, but I think this is 100% a Jaina pick. Like, this is possibly the most obvious Jaina pick I've seen in my life. It synergizes perfectly well with Tyrande and Uberek as well. You would get a root at 16 since Tyrande already has the armor reduction. I think if you're going Genji here, you absolutely have to go X-Strike. But I think getting thrown by Garrosh is tricky as Genji. Zul putting root on Genji when he goes in is tricky. Cassia already has physical armor. And even then, like, kind of tricky. Like, again, we're putting ourselves into the four-man wave clear problem because we're picking two not good wave clear heroes instead of like Junkrat or something. I would have liked Junkrat 10 times more than Genji here.
To duel initially.
The double talent, I'll tell you. At 13, but not until.
Genji.
Wait.
Okay. So you guys have much weaker wave clear than they do.
Going bot. Garrosh
At least if Zul is involved.
Okay, there's the throw.
Are they trying to cheese bottom with Sylve? Yeah, they were. Okay. Good dive.
And Cassia.
Tyrande missed the stun. Yeah.
Okay, there's
Because
the
you
throw.
thought she was going to walk into it.
And Cassia.
Or maybe he didn't miss the stun. I don't know, it's hard to tell. It just like, maybe it just overlapped with the drag. Okay, well that was good. Did Dahaka dig here?
Garrosh is.
No, he just ran here. Okay, Dahaka has to dig top
I'm
then.
just gonna Z top.
And Genji just soaks mid. Good. Genji is always the one soaking mid in this. You need Raynor in the bot lane to peel the Garrosh with the knockback, and
3 bot.
You can manage to get.
he's just better at pressuring Garrosh. He's just going to do more damage than Genji. And Genji has an escape from mid, because mid can get ganked by the Zul and the others from Delta. So it's like a two-sided gank opportunity flank.
Garrosh and
Whereas
Rosh.
bot lane, they're only going to gank from one direction, really, and he'll have the protection of the healer and the tank here. I think Genji needs to stay soaking mid. I don't think a Nubarak can leave bottom.
Coming bottom.
Right here, you gotta Q away the Garrosh. Down. Just any direction to get him away from you and Solskito.
Coming
That's why you get thrown here and die.
Yep.
Yep. And then Solskito tries to save you and dies.
Sorry, I didn't realize that that was going to be a problem.
Her trait is down.
Wow, their push really,
Right.
it's really strong. That kill was actually at a really awkward time.
They get
Honestly, that kill
free.
only happened because Anubrek was mid as well. And couldn't peel. Genji's trying to gank Zul right now,
Coming bottom.
but I don't think you're ever ganking Zul. I think your goal with this comp is win the 4-man. You're gonna lose top lane, because the Haka's gonna be burrowing out of there anyway. Your goal is literally just catch the soak from mid, defend top lane so that Zul can't push it, and then win the 4-man with the Haka burrows when they're overextended like this, and the Haka can burrow in these bushes. And then you guys just kill them bot lane, then you can take camp spot lane, and then send, like, because bot lane is gonna be dead, then you can send 2 people top lane to, like, get top lane, and that's how you get DK.
Sorry, I didn't realize that
But you guys need to stay as a group
that was
to
going to be a
win.
problem.
Like
No, I shouldn't have been where I was.
Tahaka never wins top lane, really, because he's gonna burrow out of it
You gotta
anyway.
be really careful about that because
So Zul could just retake it even if he did.
Yep.
So like you said, you have to be able to win
Going.
at least
Her
one
trait
side
is
of the
down.
lanes. You said this on Braxis. I'm not really sure that you said it on Dragonshire, but Braxis and Dragonshire are actually pretty similar with the way the maps play, where you have to win one side of them. So it's better to just focus on one side instead of trying to like split the difference. Right now you're losing both sides. This is kind of an awkwardly timed engage here. Genji can't step up to Garrosh. Good Rainer Q.
Try and get a rabbit out. Yep.
Can look on Cassia maybe.
Alright.
It's fine, just clear the wave. Rend stabilize,
Okay.
good.
We're
Or
stable.
bottom for now.
They've got top
Yeah,
now.
You want Genji to, or Rainer, or both to go on the camp, probably? Because you're not going to
Should I
push
go to
into them
camp?
blindly
Yeah,
like
take the
that.
camp, please.
Yeah, Genji can soak mid. One of you needs to
Taking
soak
bottom,
mid and the other
take
can do
bot
the
camp.
camp.
I have nothing.
I'm pretty sure they're on their siege. I don't think they would be on bot camp. Yeah.
Missing wave middle.
I have nothing.
I like stepping on this is fine just so that they can't cap it, although Dahaka's capping top, so you don't really need to. So I think Tyrant could help clear this camp. Genji
Careful
could be
them
soaking
to
mid.
rotate into here.
So this is a similar problem to game 1, where we're losing the mid lane soak. We just lost an entire mid wave. Because we had 2 DPS on the camp. It's almost always DPS and healer go on camps, but realistically 1 DPS can solo that camp. That was a good Rainer Q. This is the same idea as earlier, so good adaptation from Pi.
Rolling middle again.
Stukov stepped up really far there. Again, we know from the first 2 games that their DPS positioned like idiots, so you guys can look to punish their DPS, especially if their Garrosh is going to be far away from them.
We can just pick up.
So there's a Q. He used his Unstoppable, but that was the right idea, Pi.
Like, we can't
But
get-
now his Unstoppable is down. Rabid should still be looking to peel Solskito here. It's better for Rabid to get thrown, ever, than Solskito. Like, Rabid should tank throws sometimes, because he can burrow out after he gets
Oh,
thrown.
okay.
But now Solskito's just gonna die.
So
Sylve eat away. Yep. So, that happened because Rabid didn't really peel. That was a good Q. Hopefully he
Can you
lives.
get Dragon Knight here? Never mind.
They shouldn't get Dragon Knight because you're controlling top lane right now. You're never going to control bot lane as
10
Genji.
seconds, I think.
That was
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
just a
with
waste
you.
of time. I
I'll
think
go
it would be
back
better
and-
to go help the Haka so that you
there's
can
a
get
Rainer
mid
Q to
soak
save you.
Coming bottom again.
or control top lane so that they can't get DK, or to defend bottom.
I hate this strategy.
They're a long way from retreat if we get to Haka.
Yep,
You got
should
it?
be a good time for a Haka burrow. You can either look in this bush, or you can look in the bushes over by the shrine. You guys gotta call the target though. I think Stukov is a good target. I think Cassia is possibly a good target. Sylva's gonna have her E. They also possibly have ally throw, or is that level 7? I don't know. I don't remember Garrosh talents. But
So,
you guys can definitely look for a kill here. The Sylve, because of her Haunting Wave, is going to be hard to lock down long enough, I think, to get a kill. This is a good attempt, though. Rabid dies. There's her E. Crafty can look to tongue her out of this E. He gets thrown away, though. Genji's going to chase
Coming up to
in.
me.
Genji
he's-
dashed in and already used his
Got
jump, so he
Cassia.
doesn't really have an escape here. He has
Uh,
probably a protect. Nope.
mobility on Sylve is a problem.
Q on Garrosh is tricky because it pulls him to you when you don't want him
dragged
pulled
the
to you.
Guys into the tower.
Yeah, you actually dragged him onto
Dumped
Pi
it
so that
already.
Pi dies here.
Is a problem. Okay, maybe it's got to be Cassia. My bad. I think the mobility on Sylve is a problem.
Yeah, I think Cassia is the secondary target because she has physical
dragged the
armor
Guys into the tower.
for 2 of your heroes being physical
Dumped it
damage.
already.
2.5 almost with Tyrande. Well, Tyrande even gets thrown and dies here. Yeah, this game is rough.
Okay, we gotta stabilize, guys.
This is pretty much just from early game issues, though. This is the same problem
Die
as
them again. They're
game
low.
1. It's just a lot worse because this map is more
Drake's down
snowbally.
as well.
Something I looked at, and I only looked at this today for the Season 7 stats, but I looked at it for the league as a whole, so for all of NGS. And right now, the first pick win rate on certain maps is really skewed. So for example, Braxis, first pick has a 70% win rate, which is basically why nobody ever picked Braxis, and it's because the first pick has a really huge advantage on that map. So no team will map pick it because you're giving the opponents a much higher chance to win. So you would rather pick a different map where first pick doesn't have such an advantage. There's actually I think only 4 out of 10 maps where first pick even has a higher than 50% win rate. Volskaya used to be a lot different too, but it's a lot different now that people both got a lot better at doing the item camps and the objective got nerfed. That Volskaya used to be a lot more snowbally. But in terms of the first pick win rate being the lowest, last season, it's hard this season because the sample size is still pretty low. But I looked also at the end of last season for all of NGS, Season 6, and Dragonshire and Cursed Hollow were the top 2 lowest win rate for first pick, which basically means when you're map picking, you have an advantage picking those maps. And I think it's because people make macro mistakes on those maps very, very often, and you can win them almost entirely on macro, and the objectives are really snowbally. I also think Dragonshire in particular, having last pick helps you counterpick the offlane matchup for the top lane shrine, and that's also pretty huge. So that's just something to keep in mind, is I think draft is extremely important on this map and Cursed Hollow, and a couple others and things like that. So just league-wide, that's not just your team or anything, that is a league-wide thing. I don't think you should take that strictly as gospel, obviously. There's lots of completely divisions have their own metas, team on team has their own different metas against each other of what team is good on which maps and not good on other maps, and their own it's super variable that you can't really take strict rules from that. But I'm telling you that league-wide, that is a very big trend that is, at least it's more common than it is not in that sort of thing. So just thought I would bring that up since I had looked at it earlier today.
For a second.
I'm kind of curious as to what your guys' map ban strategy, and I think you guys still like first pick a lot, I'm pretty sure. But after you lost game 1, did you guys choose map pick or first pick? I think you chose first pick, right? Because you first picked ETC. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure what your map ban strategy is. I'm not sure. I think you're probably banning, if I had to guess, Alteric Pass and Battlefield or something. But it seems like the last several times, I'm thinking towards the end of last season, I think you guys lost 1 or 2 games in a row on Dragonshire in the late game because you guys couldn't finish even when you were winning a lot of that time. And then with it being such a snowbally map and stuff like that, I think it seems like now again you guys are kind of struggling on this map. That maybe I would look into just banning this map in the future and trying to get more practice on playing perhaps one of the other maps that you guys are banning. Because it seems like this map especially seems like a struggle for you guys for some reason.
Taking tower, nice, good finish.
I mean, at this point, this game should be over. They're going to be almost 3 levels up. They've got complete control of the map. You have no bot lane for already before they've even gotten a dragon, and now they have a Dragon Knight on a
What are we doing about
keep
draft?
that's already open. This game is really hard for you. I think the wave clear is the main thing, but it's also just really snowbally, and they have a comp that excels when snowballing. So
About to throw, dive the backline, I think.
We dive something right here. Stukov.
Going.
I think diving potentially is good. Good. Stukov is a good kill target. Stun by Tyrande follow up was a bit late,
Okay.
so that you missed the kill. Now Rabbit just needs to get out.
Trying to get out.
Good. Sylve eat in and she was slowed, but you aren't looking for follow-up now.
Weird.
So you've
Don't
kind
let
of negated a lot
them
of their
Take a
Dragon Knight,
kill.
especially if they're taking it top. Yeah, they're just wasting time with DK here.
You're gonna hit 10.
So this DK, they got 1-4 out of it
Free.
when it was already, like, should have already been dead. Like, they could have realistically possibly gotten all of bot keep, or, like, mid wall as well, in addition to this fort.
Phantoms on
So
the
you guys
top
did a
again.
pretty good defensive DK there. It was both a good defense and they were really bad.
We kill this guy.
So you guys only get half credit. I'm sorry.
They're gonna push down.
Unfortunately, your teammates or your opponents being bad
That's probably true.
means you get less credit than you deserve. Unless you punish them for being bad. Okay, never mind. You get full credit now. Especially because you weren't punishing them for being bad most of the series. Alright, changed my mind. Good Q. That was weird. So realistically, this keep is already dead.
Soaking back.
They have Merc Queen camps on it. They've already used Sylvanas straight. They're level 10s. You can't defend it. You're just trying to not lose. And trying to get level 10. And maybe they int. Rabbit can get thrown. He can burrow out. Even from a taunt, you should be okay. They went mind control? What the heck? Alright, anyway. That was unfortunate. Maybe it was avoidable. Maybe it wasn't avoidable. It was probably avoidable if you had level 10s. And that was because you guys drafted really weak wave clear on this map, and so you've been behind on XP the whole time because Genji had to be soaking mid.
So a lot of their shit down though, and they're kind of low. They can't push core.
So yeah, I think number one thing from my coaching that I will say now, even more so than punishing enemy mispositioning and stuff like that, and execution in team fights and communication, number one thing I want you guys to focus on from now on is what are the 3 most important things in draft, and they're wave clear, and wave clear. Okay? And so if you have to first pick Johanna every game, you're first picking Johanna every game. If Johanna's banned, maybe you're just playing Tank Stitches and Tank Blaze now. I don't know. But the point is, you guys need to get wave clear. Wave clear is like so important. It worked super well because I thought it wouldn't actually be much of a problem, but now I'm seeing that it seems like a big problem, especially with the hero pools that you guys kind of are playing with right now. Is like the first game, what happened when you had wave clear? I watched that game. You cleared the wave level 1. They were slow to clear the wave level 1. You walked down bottom, cleared the bottom level 1, pushed it in. They were slow to clear mid wave, so they had to rotate down to bottom to catch the soak in time, or else they would get behind from level 1, which they did because then Stukov was the one that solo rotated and face checked the bush and died instantly, right? So that was like the textbook example of what wave clear gives you. It gives you rotation advantages. It's better if they have Sylvanas Merc Queen. What does wave clear give you? It means you can clear the camp for free, and it doesn't do anything. Like that's why Sylvanas is good on like Altaric Pass, is because you get a camp, they get a camp, but you deny their camp, so that it's as if they never got a camp in the first place, and then it's just your camp which is buffed versus no camp because you killed it and stunned it, so it didn't do anything. So like wave clear, wave clear, wave clear, wave clear, wave clear. Clear the waves. Don't get behind in XP to start, and that'll make your game so much easier. You guys are like making it like way hard on yourselves. Like Division S teams and stuff, they'll sometimes run like Genji Muradin, whatever, I don't even know, Karazim, Abathur, like some other offlaner, Samuro or something. Like that'll be a team comp in like Division S. But like they run that because they still know that they have to focus on clearing the waves for like the first 10 levels, and they almost force themselves to do that by picking Abathur to make it easier. And that's like the only way that they can even realistically do the comp. It's not because Abathur is really good past level 10, although he is, when cloning that stuff. It's also because he helps you with wave clear and helps you soak XP so that you can even get to level 10 in the first place without losing the game when you have no wave clear in the rest of your comp. And then you also have Mule, which also helps because you're still going to lose some structure damage and like all this other stuff. So like, yeah, wave clear. Okay.
With
Never mind. Stukov healed them all up. Never mind.
So he pops his unstoppable here, though he does it after he stuns you. I think even right.
with
Wait. Now, he's looking, stepping towards you. You could have even just queued right now. He's going to stun you out of it, and then pop his unstoppable so that he can walk up to you.
Never mind.
Suskido looks to stun him. That also doesn't help. Also, you can pop W so that you can run away a little bit faster. It probably doesn't save you here. You're probably still dead. But a drill you can do, Pi? Wait, you might actually live here. Hold on.
We die this.
Alright, nice. So that was their bad communication. Guess who's now frontlining for their team and should immediately die?
Crafty's doing
It's
a shit ton
Munkus,
of
and he
damage.
dies.
Nice.
Good. Okay, good job. Anyway, sorry. I got distracted by Pi living and Munkus inting. So a drill you can do, Pi, and this is one that I wanted to do a while ago. We got moving and I never actually did it. Is put like Crafty or Rabbit or something on Johanna, and his job is to walk at you in lane. You can go in sandbox, put like the damage values like way down so that you're only doing like 25% damage and taking 25% damage and stuff so that you live forever. And then Pi's job is literally only with auto attacks, Q, and W to never get hit by condemn and never get slowed. And so basically, if Johanna pops unstoppable and starts running at you with condemn, you have to pop your movement speed and run away. And then if she doesn't pop unstoppable, you can Q her away. But basically, and you have to be stutter stepping the whole time and still auto attacking her because you still want to punish her for like you have to poke her shield down when you're actually laning against her and stuff like that, so that she can't just like run at you for free and stuff like that and take no damage. So you still want to like be stutter stepping the whole time, but that's a really good drill to do. I also do it a lot with Blaze, or I've done it in the past with Blaze, with people that I'm coaching with Raynor. And then you're just trying to Q on reaction every Blaze charge that he does. And the only time Blaze should ever charge you is if you get oil spilled first, and then he pops his unstoppable, and then Blaze charges you. And even then you can still sidestep it half the time, if you're quick about it. But you generally need to pop W once you get oil spilled so that you can get out of the oil spill ASAP. And then the Q, if you see him pop his unstoppable before doing his charge, is also a bait. So you don't Q because it like roots yourself during the Q animation, that you just keep running. But yeah, it's like little drills like that. Like you won't get it perfect every time or anything, but even just trying to get it like above 50% or like even like 80% or something in that range is really good. And then it's like playing on easy mode once you've like practiced doing that. I think do the same thing with Garrosh and have one of the people that knows how to play tank play against you, and like you can go infinite mana, infinite health. I don't do infinite cooldowns because you still want to play around the cooldowns roughly, but then just practice trying to like stutter step against Garrosh and never get in range of him to Q stun you, and follow up and like root or walk up to you and throw you and whatnot. Because like you shouldn't need anyone else on your team. Just as Raynor, you should be able to do it like most of the time. You can also do lots of like little mind games where like you step into the Garrosh stun range and then step out like preemptively, so you're just in there for like half a second. But the Q has like a pretty long delay, and he has to like almost predict you walking up to do it, so that he'll like throw his stun out, but then you'll already be out of it by the time it like actually happens, and then it's on cooldown and you're fine. And from there on, you can step in to him and like auto him and poke him a lot and stuff like that. So I think doing that kind of like drill stuff would be good as like a warm up, or just do it like even just like once a week or once a month even. Just to like keep it in your mind of like those are kind of the most common things that you'll do, especially when playing like Raynor. And it works on every stutter step hero and stuff like that. It works on every hero, but especially when playing Raynor, it's the extra range makes him so safe that like you shouldn't ever get hit by that stuff realistically. Like maybe once or twice a game. And then if you have to blow like all of Soskito's abilities to save you that one or two times, it's fine. Or even if you die the one time, it's kind of like generally fine. But if it's happening like 3 or 4 times a game, that's where it's like, okay, this is now a problem that shouldn't be happening, that we need to fix.
We gotta push this really hard and bias.
That's not just on Pi, that's mostly because I'm like a Raynor player a lot, and I've encountered those same things and those same problems. I'm not trying to like single out Pi as like he's the reason that this game went wrong, because it wasn't really just draft, it was like a lot of combinations of things as I went over. It's pretty much the same issues as game 1, especially. Game 2 had a lot of similar issues, but they were just less severe than in Game 1. Game 3 is kind of the most severe that they have been, I think.
Yahaka, get ready.
20
This is
seconds.
good of you guys to play back.
They're looking at bot camp. Clear this for free.
Yep, clear the camp is good.
Shrine back.
You're probably going to have to clear the Bruiser camp as well, before Dahaka can dig.
You guys want
I think
this?
Dahaka calling for dig is good here.
10 seconds.
13 is probably the weakest power spike in the game, so if you can...
Going?
Or maybe threaten DK. If Dahaka can possibly get DK here, which it looks like he can. Sylva's on the point. Okay, so there was miscommunication there because
Sylva's out. Going?
Dahaka thinks I can get DK here right as a Nubarak is going in. So I think this was communication of not calling this. Because I think you guys are happy just getting DK here. It means their camp doesn't get anything bot lane, but instead you guys kind of int for the DK when you realistically didn't need to. You actually had already won the DK.
We got DK somehow, so that's
Yeah.
not the worst.
It looks like only one of you ints,
Zul pushing mid just up.
I think there's a
but now you're not going to get value out of DK.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tricky. Man, if you had punted him into the fort, that would have been sick.
Coming.
Alright, Phantoms lives. So this is kind of a waste of DK, but it probably would have been regardless. I'm going to speed through this because I don't want this to go on too much longer. I went on a long
They're going
tangent
top.
with Raynor stutter stepping
Sylve traces
drills.
down. That's Cassia blind, going in, looking for Garrosh, for Cocoon.
Guys are trying to engage
Cassia
before
mark.
16. You've already used a lot. I like that you went X-Strike this game. That taunt was really good. Yikes.
On the Stukov.
Two cards, two
Yeah,
cards.
target calling is still kind of slow
Get
here.
out.
I think they do.
Tier
They just end through here? No, not quite yet.
till-
Okay, but they're up 16. They're taking all your camps. You're just guys are just going to be stuck in your base while they get DK and then come walk in and end, right?
Someone on.
It should pretty much be what happens. I'm not going to pay too much attention. Okay, this is like the final desperation fight, and you don't even get there to defend DK.
Quick gank on it.
Yeah, they just walk DK to core at this point. Looks like you guys are killing Zul though.
Okay,
That's
gotta
nice.
go on Dragon.
I'm pushed.
Okay, on Sylve.
Phantoms might pick off Munkus. Nice. If you guys can burn DK, you maybe defend this actually. Yeah, Raynor going down isn't great. This is getting pretty low.
Cassia, then
You can
Dragon,
kill
then
her.
Dragon.
That's good. Stukov's just gonna walk up and slap it. Yup. Okay.
Jesus.
Alright. Well yeah, I've already spent long enough going over what the issues were. Like I said, it was pretty much the same issues the whole time from oops. Accidentally clicked on Path of Exile. From game 1 here. I think the wave clear was kind of an issue in all 3 games, honestly. I think draft Johanna more, especially in game 3 when it was like it was between that and a Nubarek. I kind of like the idea of a Nubarek Tyrande, but with the way like you already are going to be aggressive with Phantoms' hero pool and playstyle, I think that I mean it's hard to play Johanna with that is the problem, but at the same time like I think it means that either Piemaker needs to play a lot of the wave clear heroes now, which is like all the mages pretty much aside from Li Ming, and then you have like Junkrat, Phoenix is in there, Lunara's okay. There's a few more that I'm forgetting, I'm sure. Tychus is okay. Vala and Greymane are both kind of okay, and they're coming back into the meta a little bit since they're buffs. Oh, Mephisto's not good for wave clear either. Don't go him. But yeah, like I think either Rabbit has to play more of the wave clear heroes, or just put Solskito on like Rhaegar more often, and have wave clear that way with the lightning build, or just like yeah, lots of Johanna. You can go Stitches Malfurion and just play that way, or like Blaze main tank, and then have like ETC offlane or something, or maybe Uther main tank and ETC offlane, or Blaze offlane or something. You can go Tyrael a bit more too. He's not really a wave clear tank, but I'm just throwing around ideas now. But yeah, anyway. Problem is, I think part of these issues are draft, part of it is the playstyle in the game. I think especially it seems like Phantoms wants to look for kills a lot more, and the rest of you aren't really prepared to have him be responsible for soaking a lane, normally mid lane, and also looking for kills. If he was on Zeratul, like you can kind of do that, because Zeratul basically has enough wave clear to double soak, and then so he can like clear mid and then go top lane to look for a gank and then come back mid to clear it again. But there's not many other like gank type heroes that realistically have the wave clear to be able to still soak the lane that they're responsible for. So that means you pretty much need to be able to have the 3-man double soak at that point, or just have enough wave clear that, or be sustainable enough that like if you had Johanna can soak mid while Genji's ganking top, and then Raynor and Tyrande just play back and soak bottom safely. Something like that would be a better option. So yeah, that's all I got for now. Hopefully this one wasn't too long for you guys, but I mean, this has been your main loss of the season here, so hopefully you don't mind me going a bit more in detail over it and whatnot, and going a bit harder on you, because I think you guys are doing really well. I think you guys still shouldn't be too flustered by it, even by all the critique or whatever that I've given here. I think you guys still are playing probably a lot better than you were a majority of last season. Um, and I think you guys are still like, if you're not the best team, maybe Beast Coast is, but you're possibly, I think, still probably the best team in B, at least in B East. So yeah, I think you guys should still continue playing like that. Let me put it that way. Keep dominating the opponents or whatever. You know, keep punishing them for mistakes. Don't be submissive or afraid. Don't be like what the teams that you were playing against were doing against you guys or whatever, where they're just like letting you get away with everything for free. Because you're gonna have to face against this team probably again sometime in playoffs or something, or teams similar to them, where they're gonna punish you for both not punishing them and punish you for playing maybe a bit more than you can actually realistically get away with. So that's where I'll leave it for now. GG's. Hopefully you guys do better next week. Let me know if you have any questions or responses to this one. I'd love to hear them, and I will definitely talk with you guys soon. Cool. See ya.